Hi everybody, my name's Elle and welcome back to the Order of Narvosc. This is session 15, Shadow Walkers. I hope you enjoy.
Okay, so we started off in the underground from the last time after we had been ambushed by um, some characters that were in some way either beefing or involved with this shadow syndicate. I think it's becoming clearer as we go, but we fended them off and killed at least one. And from there, we made our way back up towards what I would call, I guess, the mouth of the underground, because isn't the clever slug and pleasure sort of right when you first enter the underground? And we made our way into the clever slug, which is like the a tavern in the underground. We saw some familiar company there in Beltov, and who we later learned to be his mother, if I'm not mistaken. And they were speaking in sort of um, a cryptic sign language that they have. And then he came over to us and introduced himself, a bit more formally than before. And then some people broke in and accosted us for our actions out in the street earlier, which led to people's deaths. And we had a giant bar fight, essentially, which was lots of fun. And then from there, we survived. We took him out. Um, and then we made our way back up to the surface to lick our wounds a bit because we have an early morning to head out on this next mission where we're hunting down what we, at least I think we know to be some type of very large beast that's been wandering around out there somewhere on the continent. How did I do? Did I miss any major
You
details?
got it. Yeah, so you do know that this beast is large because you have seen it, at least bits of it, and it seems big, and you just can recall that screech that it makes. And you all just took your long rest. It is now becoming morning. What would you like to do?
Oh yeah, and Dahlia slept outside of the church for the first time.
Huh? She's rebelling.
I think Friedrich would start his day sitting up in bed and sort of staring at the wall for a few minutes, maybe
Buddy.
half an hour or more. Didn't sleep very well after his dream, which I didn't recap, but essentially he saw the faces of a lot of his former students, and then uh, he saw them dead. So, slow start to the morning, even though I know we're supposed to be up early.
So do we still have to meet like at the at the order before we leave, or is that we just head?
Yeah, so you already have your mission.
Okay.
Y'all already have everything set up, ready to go. He said meet it like at the stables, get ready to leave when all the other order members leave.
So we have all our gear, like our crystals.
That
And all
would be
that.
on your steeds,
Oh, okay.
as well as
Oh, and
a normal health potion.
we haven't met Dahlia's steed yet.
Mm-mm.
Haven't.
Oh, that's right.
Right.
Professor can talk to it.
I forgot
Can't
what
wait.
its name is. Did I name it?
You did not tell me a name.
Okay.
You told me what they are, but you have
Yeah.
not told me a name.
Okay.
We'll do it live.
Yeah.
We'll do it live.
No panic. It's fine.
I guess Ruin would wake up and just like, I think, forget the fact that Dahlia had. She's still kind of like putting the book away and kind of forgot that Dahlia had stayed in the inn too. And so he like, oh, as we're walking, as we're heading down, or as I'm heading down to the stables, I guess.
I think Velfie will be, she's gonna wake up and kind of pack all of her books that she got into her bag and make sure she has her sending stone in her pocket. And I guess gonna take one look in the mirror, sigh, and head out.
Okay. Is there anything you all would like to do before you head to the stables? Anything unfinished before you leave Sydonea? Because this will be probably a week or so.
I say Friedrich before he leaves his apartment. I'd make sure to grab the 2 books that I got from who was it? What was the god? Was it Loot?
Loot.
Loot, yes. And the one book that I had stashed that I got from Seraphina, and make sure I take those with me since I know it will be at least a few days on the road.
Alrighty. And you all are able to make your way to the stable, kind of running into each other outside of it. And you hear the sounds of all the mounts that are in there just neighing or buying or goat noises or, other kind of noises that some of these mounts will make. And as always, there is a crowd starting to form on the outside or the inside of the gate where everybody leaves and where the order members line up before the sun rises in order to head out. And you still hear the normal chatter of this group and some talking about how there's even less members now, like some little kids wanting to join and how cool all the order members look and things of that nature. But there is a crowd that is starting to form as usual. So nothing is standing out of the ordinary right now.
So are we all together or?
Yeah, I'd say you all met up like right outside the stable.
Okay. Well, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning.
As I look around, how does everyone look generally? Chipper, a bit tired.
How does everybody look?
I guess I would start by saying Friedrich looks like he has slept better. Definitely.
Dahlia looks fine. This is her usual.
Yeah,
job.
Ruin looks like Ruin. I mean, it's probably actually slept better than normal, I think. But
I'd say, Belfie, if you're paying attention, you might be able to see that there's something going on. But otherwise, she's trying to be like her normal chipper self.
Well, are we ready to do this again?
I'll look around. Is Ignatius here?
Give me a perception check.
Is it daytime?
It is daytime.
Oh, okay. 8.
With an 8, you don't see anything. You don't see him. You don't see anything that stands out.
can I look around just to see, like, I mean, I know we're kind of headed into the stables, but can I look around and just see who, like, if we recognize, or if I recognize any other groups that are headed out?
Give me a perception check.
Ooh, it's an 11.
With an 11, you notice that you see Violet and Roe already at the gate on their horses. Violet's got her little white mare, and Ro has got this giant draft horse. But you also see it's not like a Shetland pony size, but it is slightly smaller than everybody else's. But you do see Selin with her giant battle axe, like a bluish, like almost has like furs on it, but it's not necessarily armor. But this blue outfit, and she does have her little top hat on as she is sitting stoically on this brown shorter horse.
So just so I have like perspective, could I walk over without like being shorter than Selin?
Yes, you could.
Okay. I'm gonna like not sneakily make my way over. And where are you headed? Where are you headed out to today?
Oh!
Does she have a party with her, or just like is it just
She's
her by herself?
Just her. Just her. Hi! And she's gonna like punch your arm since you're like on her level right now. So, well, oh geez, where am I going? It hurts. It hurts. She's got like some oomph behind her.
And I'm still probably barely healed from last session. So it's like, oh God.
I'm sorry, I forgot. My hits are, my bad.
You're good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hello.
Oh gosh, where am I going? I think I'm heading to the east, I think. Yeah, and she's gonna like pull out a little map and like look at it. Yeah, so I leave out that door and I just go straight. Yeah, I'm just supposed to take out like an extermination of a bunch of little monsters, I think. This won't be too bad. Where are you headed?
We're headed, and Ruin's gonna pull the map out too, and be like, is it southwest? Southeast?
Northwest.
Northwest. We're headed northwest. I guess we're going after that.
Oh no, I lied. I'm sorry. Y'all are heading. You are heading southeast. Yeah.
Never mind. Hold on. Let me turn the map. Let me turn the map right side up here. Oh, okay. No, southeast. We're I guess supposed to go after that cleric beast thing that's out there in the.
Oh, y'all are going after. Oh. Yeah. Oh well.
Yeah.
Well, do be careful. That's rather frightening.
Yeah, we've got. I trust the circle that I'm with, even though one of them I'm not super familiar with yet. But
that's good.
I kind of look back. I kind of like very like quickly look back over my shoulder, just kind of.
Oh, well, aren't they, darling? And she's just gonna grin. And she starts waving.
I wanted to, and I'm going to pull out the luck stone that I have been carrying around, and I'm going to hold it out to her.
What? And she's just gonna very gingerly take it and look it over. What is this for?
It'll help bring you back, because how are we going to drink at the ball if you don't make it back?
Is that an invitation?
It most definitely is.
And she's just gonna grin. And she's gonna cackle for a second. You know where I come from. You hand the person you are proposing to a stone. Are you proposing to me right now?
Whoa. And Ruin,
and she's
like,
just gonna cackle.
Entire head turns red. Like, everything turns red.
She's gonna punch him again. I'm just kidding. Well, actually, I'm not kidding, but I'm very excited to go to the ball with you.
Be safe. And I'm gonna like walk back over.
And she's just gonna yell after you, "Be safe!" And then she's gonna look at the rest of your circle. I think I flustered him.
She did.
And she's just very like gingerly holding this stone, and she's just gonna hold it up to her chest and kind of do like the happy little like wiggle. And then you're gonna see her kiss it and put it in her pocket. As she has slightly started to blush too.
Well, let's go. And Ruin's gonna go over to.
So did we hear that, or?
Oh, I wasn't being I wasn't trying to be like secretive about it. So
I'm gonna friendshiply, like gingerly, just like punch Ruin on the shoulder and be like, "Look at you
same
go!"
shoulder, for the love of God.
Oh God, I'm sorry. I forgot. But I'm so excited for you.
Yeah, yep. And I pull out I'm like walking over to Lucky and pulling out like 2 schnickelbums, and I'm like, here.
And his eyes go wide. And like he with his really, really, really wide eyes, he's just gonna like engulf one of them almost, and then just squish it, and schnickelbum juice just flies everywhere as he just kind of looks at you.
And Ruin's gonna make sure everything's tied down and whatnot and ready to go.
And Lucky's just wagging his tail and
Belfie's gonna walk over to Straya and give her a couple sugar cubes and stick her tongue out at her. Go.
and she just like sticks the tongue out like straight with the sugar cube still on it.
Ah, you're the cutest. The absolute cutest.
And she's just gonna like nod like, yeah.
And then I'll saddle up, get on my horse.
Okay. Friedrich, I'm going to cast. Okay. I'm ahead of myself. I'm going to walk up to Beatrice and cast Speak with Animals and just lean in close to her and sort of scruff between the horns a little bit and just say, "Good morning, dear friend."
Oh, my dearest friend, that always feels so good.
And I'll fetch I should have some sugar cubes, I think. I purchased some. So give her 2. It'll be a long day.
Oh, that's wonderful. I used to like sugar cubes with my tea.
It's only my second time speaking with you, but every time you intrigue me. I also like tea. We should share a cup of tea sometime.
Sharing a cup of tea?
Don't have a kettle with me right now, and we're on a bit of a schedule, but next time we're not, yes. A lot can be learned. A lot can be said over a cup of tea.
And to everybody else, she just...
We just hear the professor going, "Meh, meh, meh, meh,
Yeah,
meh."
do we establish that? Do I sound like the animal I'm talking to? Am I like trying to mimic their... How does this work?
It sounds like you are speaking goat.
And this is Dahlia's first time seeing this, and she's just like, "Oh, okay."
Well, he is really getting old, huh?
She'll just watch that
He
for a
speak-
minute and be like, "Okay."
He speaks goat now.
But
Or-
before I get on, Beatrice, I'm going to walk up to the others who've already mounted. So I guess Lucky and... Oh, Velfi, remind me again what you
Drea.
are. Drea, yes. Drea. And so Lucky first, I'll just go up and say, Good morning. How are you? With like this giddy excitement of I can speak with more people now.
Good morning.
You ever had a cup of tea?
What is tea?
You answered the question by asking that question. Okay, very good. Maybe sometime. Safe travels today. And I'll walk off down the road to Straya and give a little scruffle and say the same thing. Good morning.
Good morning.
You're very chipper today. Have you ever had a cup of tea?
What is tea?
Great question. Okay, hold that thought. Safe travels today.
And you've made her nervous now, so she's just gonna stick her tongue out.
I will stick a sugar cube on it quickly and adeptly.
And her eyes are gonna go crossed. She was not expecting a sugar cube.
What are you doing to my horse, Professor?
It's a sugar cube tax.
Just pleasantries, you know. It's good to say good morning, catch up on.
I don't know
how
if I
we've
feel
all been.
comfortable with the professor talking to our horses.
I will tell you, it's all small talk. Definitely, we're not plotting anything. There's no horseplay involved.
Rebellion.
Ah.
Oy.
But I haven't met Dahlia's mount yet, so I'll stop and just sort of hang out by Straya for the time being.
And Dahlia, give me a perception check as you walk into the stables. And you do not have to do this at disadvantage.
Okay. 17.
You will notice, like, your mount's a little further towards the back. And, like, very stealthily leaning against one of the pillars is Beltov. And, like, he's looking directly at you. Any motions for you to...
She like doesn't for like a hot minute. Then she'll slowly come over. It's like, I don't like being told what to do.
Well, it's more of an ask, I guess. I don't want
Alright.
to go over there. There's a lot of people over there. And he's going to pull out a stone and give it to you. I told you I'd keep information or try to find information about your problem. And I plan to keep you updated on it if that is still the case. Otherwise, I don't have to do this. And he just kind of like pulls it back for a second with the look she gave him.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I just don't want him to find it.
Well, when you come back into the city, drop it off at the front gate.
Okay.
And I will see what information I can find.
Just speak. Then she'll think back and then she'll do the sign of be careful.
And you'll see he does it too. And then disappears. And he had his little sunglasses that you gave him yesterday on.
All right, then she'll go over to her elk and get him saddled up.
Would you like to describe what your steed looks like?
The big, white, snowy elk with brambly antlers that are kind of a dark brown. He's very noble looking.
And what is his name?
Dahlia doesn't name her animals because they might die.
And
So she just calls him friend.
Oh. And Friend just takes his head and just tries to give you a little nuzzle without like hitting you with one of his brambly antlers.
Scratches long neck.
And you hear that mule that elks normally do.
Mm-hmm.
And you all will also hear this. Elks are very loud.
I mean, the professor would probably hear him say something, right?
That is true. The professor would hear, "Oh, that is my favorite spot. Right there." And he's just gonna kind of like stick his neck out a little bit more, trying to get like more nuzzles.
And then she'll lead him out.
We are going on an adventure.
I was about to respond. I cannot.
But if I may I walk up to the elk? Because I don't want to leave anyone out. And I'm curious. First I'll look up in Dahlia and say, "This is a very beautiful animal here. What's his name?"
And
And I'll look at the elk and just say, "Good morning, friend."
Oh, good morning. Are you a friend of my friend?
I believe so.
Then we are friends too.
Do you have a taste for sugar?
Sugar is always extremely nice. Do you have any?
I will offer a cube.
Sugar. And he just like looks at it.
And I'll just look back up at Dahlia and say, "I like your friend." And then I'll go back to Beatrice.
My dearest friend, welcome back.
Time no see. How have you been?
Where are we going? I'm doing fabulous.
We are going out into the forest again. How are we feeling? Could be a long journey.
I am very excited. Get to be with my bestest friend.
Likewise. Well, sally forth.
Who's Sally?
I don't know. It's just something I thought people said when I read it in a book.
Oh. Well, we will have to debate on who this Sally is. And she just very happily like prances out, thinking about who is Sally. And you kind of hear her like talking to herself about where did Sally come from? She didn't quite understand. But you all are able to get your mounts out of the stables and into where all of the other reapers are currently waiting, just for the peak of sunset, like sunrise, because you have some of the light from it already, but it hasn't quite peaked to the horizon yet. And as soon as it does, you all see the reapers start to move forward, and you all are able to move through the barrier. And it does that normal vibration as soon as you leave. And you know that is checking your vitals, making sure everything is okay, making sure that you are normal, or as normal can get. Is there anything you'd like to do as soon as you exit the gates?
Leave, go to the Druid Grove, and live a life of a druid.
Yes, here.
Y'all would actually see Violet and Roe heading that direction.
In the direction of the farm.
Mm-hmm.
Do we know of anything else in that direction, or is it pretty safe to assume that's where they're going?
I mean, there are a lot of things in that direction. Lots of woods. They could be going on a normal extermination of monsters. They could be going to the Druid farm for a transport. You're not sure unless you ask them.
Are we within speaking distance?
You're within yelling distance.
Where are you going?
Do you actually do that?
No.
Well,
Come on,
we were
girl.
introduced to Violet and Ro, right? All of us?
Yeah, you all know who
Yeah.
Violet and Ro are. You don't know much about them beyond that, except for Dahlia. Dahlia knows more about those two.
Okay. So I think Velfie will actually shout, "Hey, Violet, have a safe trip!"
And she's just gonna, like, it scares her for a second. You see her jump, and like her head starts moving around very quickly until her eyes land on you. Oh, thank you. Have a wonderful trip yourself. Rose, say good things. He just turns around very slowly on his horse and just stares. And then goes straight. As Violet starts, you could tell, like, she's not yelling, but she's talking with Ro very excitedly. Like, oh my God, we're just so happy. Like, this is so nice. And like, you could just hear her, like, really excitedly. You can't quite make out the words, but very chipperly talking to Ro that you wished her a good trip.
Yay! Ugh, I love making people smile.
Such opposites in the duo there. She's so chipper.
Well, you know what they say, opposites attract.
They do say that. Yes.
You can give me insight to see if there is any romance there.
Ooh, can I
If
do
you let
that?
me roll it, I'll
If you
roll
want
it.
to.
Yes.
I'm not gonna roll it. That's
I didn't yell out to him, so I don't know if I should either, but I want to hear the result.
11.
With an 11, you're not quite certain, but you get the idea. Ro really cares for Violet. Whether that is romantic or platonic, you don't know.
Okay.
Belfie's
Alright.
going to retire and become a matchmaker of the city.
She turns around. She's like, not for me. Going back.
I'm done.
And
I mean, you do have that love potion. You just drop it into random drinks, and suddenly everybody's in love.
Just call me
There's a lot of
Cupid.
weird smells going around.
And will Ruin roll us a d20?
Uh-oh. Is it just whatever the number is?
Yeah, give me whatever the number is.
That is a 5.
Roll a d6.
Oh boy. That is also a 5.
Okay. Is there anything y'all would like to be doing on your journey there?
So the sending stone, is it like a verbal hold it up to your mouth speak thing, or is it like a telepathic thing?
It is a verbal pick it up, speak to it.
Okay.
And you get 25 words.
Walkie talkies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can use it once per day.
Walkie-talkies that shut off at 25 words.
So I think Belfie, she will kind of hang in the back a little bit, create just a bit of distance. And she will take out her sending stone. And she's gonna try to flirt a little bit. And she's gonna say, "The aliens you left were gorgeous. And the sending stone, it's like a thread connecting us. And I definitely don't mind getting tangled with you."
You have 6 words left. Just
Do I?
Yeah.
I thought that was 25.
Maybe it was 25. Maybe I did math wrong. No, you're right.
It's going to take a minute before you get a response
Calm
back.
down.
It is like 6:30 a.m.
It's like 6 a.m. Wake up and flirt.
So it's gonna take a few minutes. But after a few minutes of holding it there and kind of like giggling to yourself, you're gonna hear back. It's like this sleepy voice almost. Oh, hello. I wasn't expecting that kind of call, but I wouldn't mind getting tangled with you either. I'd actually really love that. That sounds great. I'm glad you liked it. I think that was 25. I think that was 25. But you can kind of hear like that, the sleepy voice and the slight like flusteredness from the morning call this morning. But you get the sense that he was really excited that you sent him a message today.
Yay!
And with
Do
that,
we smell anything?
you do not smell anything besides the outside.
You might smell the
Outside
Excited.
smells. Oh.
Yup. There we go.
Is there anything else you would like to do on your travel?
I'd like to read or look at the book Pax gave me.
Okay. With the book that Pax gave you, there's little pictures all in it, and it's like these drawings of like things that make certain sounds, and it has like just a few letters next to it. For example, AH, ah, is like a barbarian yelling ah, like to get the ah sound across. And then you see like a little cow with like MOO, but it like focuses on the OO, moo, ooh, ooh. And it's pictures very similar to that to show you what certain letters sound like.
She's in it.
I love it. And what about Ruin and Friedrich?
I think Ruin is like contemplating pulling the book out, but it's basically or pulling his book out, but it's basically a slab. And I was like, I don't feel like I could do this safely. So he just kind of like is looking back at his pack and probably looking towards the east a little bit. And it's kind of off in his own head.
And Friedrich?
Friedrich would be, at least for the first part of the day, and probably into the afternoon, depending on what happens. You would see him sitting on the back, sort of zoned out a bit, reading through, and really just not only just reading, but also just observing and sort of really investigating the Librum of Souls and Flesh that he has. I've used it as a spell book and spellcasting focus for, I guess, about a month now or so. I think you'd probably have it, maybe a little over. But it's got sort of this. He'd be thinking, and you make it tell on his face. It's like he's only gone one layer down into it. It still seems a bit intimidating, a little bit scary based on how it looks and the spells he found in it. Trying to get a better understanding of it before he delves further, I guess is the best way to put it. There's hesitation there.
Give me an investigation check.
$17.
You hear these whispers. And these whispers always come from this book. But this time, you're able to pick out something slightly different.
Wonder when this stupid old man is gonna actually realize that this is mine!
If it's open, I'm gonna shut it. just and not even out of like a conscious action, out of like a knee-jerk reaction. Like someone was watching me do something I shouldn't do.
I can still talk, you know. Seems like you can finally hear that I am here! Been whispering for I don't know fucking how long and no one fucking listens to me!
I'm gonna hold the
Feel
book
like I'm-
closer to my face just to make sure that's the source of the sound.
Yes, oh man, I am the book! Or I'm not the book, I'm in the book!
Professor, you good?
I'm gonna look around at Ruin and the other and Dahlia and Velfie, and are they looking up? Does it look like they hear it?
No one else hears it.
I mean, he said he slammed the book, right?
And
That's
I
how
know
I'm
that no one
reacting
hears
to.
it.
Y'all would have heard the slamming of the book.
Did anyone hear anyone? And I'm just gonna look around a little bit on the horizon.
No voices other than the ones I normally hear.
I don't.
I don't know if that's comforting or not, but good to know.
Take it how you will.
Are you hearing voices, Professor?
I heard a voice.
I'll kind of sidle up next to Velfie and be like, he's not that old yet, is he?
I mean, he's like barely older than, or no, you're younger, right, by a few years than the plague, right?
Barely older. I was like 3 when it happened.
Barely older than the plague.
Oh. Eugh.
So might be.
Do we know if dementia exists in this world?
Golly.
As
What?
you all would, I don't think you all would have been,
No.
not come to terms with that, but wouldn't have seen that.
Maybe it would be known by that because there's like
It would not be known
it's
by
a
that.
medical term, I guess.
No.
Yeah. So I heard it say, "This is the book." They didn't seem to react to it. They didn't hear it. I'm just gonna lean down to the book and whisper, like, "Hello."
Hello. This is my book.
I'm gonna think in my head, "Hello."
You do not get a response.
I'll just pause a moment. I'll lean down close to it again. So you see me like holding a book closed, doing this, like whispering to it.
Can I roll a perception or investigation check on the professor, or like an insight check on the professor? Because that's weirder than normal.
Yeah, use insight.
May I do that as well?
Sure. Anybody who wants to can.
I do normally read books. I don't
15.
have conversations.
You said
Talking with
insight.
goats, talking with books. Goats
Aw,
and
I mean-
books.
man.
I mean, I know Ruin has
So-
heard voices in his head, so he's like, not.
You too?
Yeah, hey.
And
I got I got a 5.
a 5. Friedrich,
Yeah.
roll a persuasion or deception.
I'm not trying to hide it. I'm trying to be subtle. So I guess maybe that would be deception. I'm not trying to lie about it, but I guess that would be deception. Or maybe persuasion. I think it'd be persuasion because I'm trying to look like nothing's wrong.
Then that's deception.
It's the same role. I was just trying to think for character purposes. I don't like lying to people. 15.
That's a roll off, I guess, because that's 15. Or I mean, it's 15 for.
He was trying to hide it. You met it. So technically you won,
Yeah.
but if you want to do
Oh,
rollies,
okay.
You're more than welcome to.
My role would be
I-
like the DC, I guess.
Oh, okay. Your role would be that. So I met it. I'm gonna like not obviously be like, Professor, why are you talking to your book? But I'm probably gonna like ride up on Lucky and just kind of be like looking down at the professor as he's got the book right here while we're. Does the book talk back?
Yes, the book
Trying to-
talks back.
You do not hear that. Just Friedrich does.
Right. Yeah, no, I
Oh. Okay. Good to know. I'm trying to figure that out. I'm not sure. That's what I'll say to Ruin.
I mean, it is a book that we found in the basement of a sketchy mansion that is wrapped in flesh. If anything was going to talk to you, a book is the least surprising of the things that we could have that could have happened.
Can Velfie hear this conversation?
Also,
I'm not being secretive at all about my part of it. If the professor's being like quiet about it, then he
I'm
can be
talking
quiet about it. but-
quietly, but not in like a secret manner. More so like an inquisitive manner. So not trying to hide it.
Okay. Because I think Velfie will chime in and she'll say, well, you do know Gibeon did tell us that spellbooks can hold the souls of their wizard.
That is a smart girl.
It's
And
a
does
great
Dahlia
point.
hear all that?
You hear the conversation, not the book talking to.
Yeah, I'd say everybody's conversation you can hear except for the weird, creepy voice.
So I'll pull the book away because it didn't seem like I had to hold it close. I'll just look at it and say, well, my name is Professor Friedrich Edler, and who are you?
Professor Kirik, you stole my equipment, you stole my book, and you don't even know who the fuck I am.
Forgive me, you are the first book that has talked back.
It's not actually the book. I'm stuck in here.
And you're actually going to see like the semblance of a face start to form on the outside of the book. It's got like the hollowed eyes like that are very slanted. It's got this like jagged looking mouth.
God, okay. I'm talking to the Necronomicon. You would level with me here. You would agree it's at least uncommon to have a book with a soul in it. Is that true?
Only because you don't keep intellectual company.
If I was any smarter, I would think that was an
Somewhere
insult.
deep in my mind, I'm offended.
Well, maybe we got off on the wrong foot here. Your book has been incredibly helpful so far, and I would hate to disappoint you in any way, as I see that you're sort of involuntarily along for this ride now. So your work has helped me. How can I help you?
Well, you got me out of the stuffy locker safe thing, so I guess we'll take that as a positive. But you did steal my research and give it to the Order of Narvosc. That was mine.
Are you alive?
He pauses And you could kind of tell like the eyes on the front of the book kind of go like real squishy.
I guess it depends on what you consider alive. I don't have a body and I'm just a soul stuck in the damn book.
Well, I assure you I would not steal from someone if I knew they were still alive to claim their property. So my apologies for that. It also does sound like that was not meant for the hands of the Order. And I'm also sorry for that, more so after what we have learned more recently. So, I'm having conversations with all sorts of things I never thought I would be talking to. Where do we go from here?
I don't know how to fix that problem yet, so I do ask that you just not keep me in your back pocket.
Okay, that's fair. That's very fair. Are you looking to get out of this book in some way? And how long have you been in your book?
What is the year?
It's 152 AV, I believe.
And I have been stuck in here for 140. So yes, I would very much like to get out of here. I was stuck in a safe for 140 years. It hasn't been very delightful. Narvosc decided he wanted to shove me in there, and I didn't really appreciate it. And then he locked me in there. And I don't like being locked in places I can't talk to anybody.
Okay. You're holding on to a lot of anger. I can hear that in your voice. I don't blame you. If I was stuck on a bookshelf for 140 years, I think I would feel the same. You said Narvosc put you where we found you, or put you in the book. And I guess I'm having trouble in my mind separating you from the book. I apologize. I know you are not the book. So you have been in this book, though, for 140 years. Is it correct?
Yes, that is correct. I do believe you killed my corporeal, not my corporeal, that's the wrong word, oh my goodness. You killed my physical body. I mean, there wasn't much left anyway.
Did you do that to your body, or did someone do that to you?
My research wasn't quite ready. So when I found out things were going bad, I sealed myself in the book.
Do we hear the professor's half of this conversation? Because I don't want to continue writing things down if I'm not hearing the professor's half of this.
You would hear, unless you're trying to be sneaky about it.
Okay.
I'll go ahead and say as well. It doesn't make sense for me to relay it right now, but the next time we make camp, I'm gonna convey this.
Oh, okay. Then
as best I can. So it was a means to save yourself then, or preserve yourself to continue your work one day, is what it sounds like. But I imagine you stayed down there for quite a while.
140 years.
Why would Narvosc lock you down there or shut you away?
Probably because he thought his research was better than mine.
Professional competition. Okay. Do we know what became of Narvosc? Is there like the legend of whatever? Do we know how the Order got its namesake?
The Order got its namesake because Narvosc sacrificed himself and became a martyr in the year 152 AV.
In the year 152 AV? Like this year?
152 years ago, sorry, the start.
Sorry, the star. Okay, okay. Okay, that's what I thought. It's very interesting that you say that. So Narvosc trapped you here 140 years ago.
How many times do I have to repeat it?
I'm sorry. It's a product of being perpetually in academia. You just sort of say things out loud and ponder to yourself a lot. It sounds a bit pretentious, but I promise there's a reason behind it that helps me think. Interesting. Have you heard everything that we've been saying since I've had you in my possession?
Hard not to.
We haven't been being subtle. We didn't think our books were listening, but and not that we plan to, but okay. So you want out of this book. Is that right?
I mean, I can't do anything as myself, so I have no arms, I have no legs, and the only person who can talk to me is you.
But you do have a spine. Sorry, forgive me, please.
The one thing that man didn't take from me.
Okay, I apologize. It's a bit of an odd day. A lot of things have happened here in the past few months, really the past month or so. Changed my view of this, what I thought was already a very bleak world. Well, as I said, your spells and your spell book have been a lot of use to me so far, and I think will continue to be. Could we perhaps reach some sort of agreement, some sort of partnership for the time being? I would hate to use a sentient person against their will.
And what do you propose?
Well, we're trying to find out a bit more about those that we work for, the namesake of our order. Some things aren't adding up more recently. A very polished exterior has started to show cracks, so to speak. We all have our own reasons for continuing on, but perhaps we can learn more about who it is we work for and why we do the things they ask us to.
Narvosc is a self-righteous fucking pig,
And he just continues, just ranting about how much he hates Tagon Narvosc, how awful he is, how much of a selfish prick he is. He just goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on.
So is this Sheldon or Leonard?
But give me a history check.
Oh, okay. I dropped my die. Here it is. I'm going to use a tower for this one. It's a big roll. Not bad. 23.
All right, with a 23, you remember the journal that Ruinal read to you. Narvosc has kicked me off the research team. That is fine. I will make progress without him. I managed to take some of his samples before leaving us Aurora. I will be the one to lead us to our salvation. And then he continued, and he talked about, I could be strong enough to contain the gift. I could be the one that leads us to victory against them. I can finally show Narvosc that my research is far more superior. Injecting the serum intravenously tomorrow. I'll show us Aurora. I'll show them all.
Kirik, can I call you by your first name?
Sure.
You may call me Friedrich if you're comfortable with it. You're the first person I've spoken to. Now, it could be because you've been in a book for the better part of a century and a half, but you're the first person I've ever spoken to that has referred to Narvosc in the present tense. We all know him to be dead.
Well, I've been locked in a safe for 140 years, so I don't know where the fucker went.
But he wasn't dead. He couldn't have been dead to do what he did to you. Timelines are starting to not match. What is the gift?
The gift is from the Shadow Realm. You take it, you inject it, you become stronger. That way no one fucks you over again.
You take it and you inject it. You become stronger. Who gives it to you?
I don't know, we haven't gotten that far. I gave it to myself.
Did you go to the Shadow Realm to retrieve it, or did you find it?
And as you ask that question, the wind starts to pick up. And you will all notice that the trees look like they start to rot. They get dark. They turn black. The leaves are gone. And it's extremely cold. Yes.
As we travel, the trees start to look like that, or the trees around us start to actively wilt?
It's almost like you walked through a veil and then everything turned black.
For all of us?
For
or
all
just
of
one
you.
us?
You all see
Huh.
this. The wind is picking up. The trees. And you can almost see a dividing line where you were to where you are. The trees have turned black. They look like their branches are reaching into nothingness as the sky is black. Everything is dark. Everything is cold. And you hear, as the wind starts to pick up even more, and one of the trees snaps. I need you all to make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh boy.
Oh.
Natural 20. First roll of the day. It'd be a 22 because I don't have my luck stone anymore.
15.
7.
Natural 1 plus 2.
Okay, and as this happens, the tree snaps. Both of your Beatrice and friend are able to dash, but when they dash, you are so surprised by it that you fall off of your mounts. And when you fall off your mounts, you are right under this tree. And the tree falls, and it's going to land on the both of you. You are going to take 9 bludgeoning damage, as this one isn't quite as big. And it almost like you get into the grooves of this tree. And for Velfi and Ruin, y'all are like right in front of it. Or Ruin's right in front of it and Velfi's right behind it, wherever your walking order is. So you see this almost rotting tree fall onto your friends. And since you both failed with a 9 or lower, you are restrained and are going to take another 3 points of bludgeoning damage as you are both stuck.
Well, shit.
Well, this is a whole bunch of what the fuck.
You're a big
I'm
guy,
gonna-
Ruin.
Can
Yeah,
I
well,
hellish
I'm
rebuke?
gonna
Because it's done
hellish rebuke
damage
the
to
tree.
me.
Hellish rebuke the tree, but I will say it is a rotting tree, and that is fire damage. Rotting material sometimes releases a gas that can cause.
Oh.
So, I know I am where I'm a Goliath. I have a little giant feature, which says I count as a size larger when determining how much I can lift, push, or drag. I don't know how heavy the tree is. Can I try to?
Yes, make a strength saving throw. Or a strength check, excuse me. Not a saving throw, a strength check.
Can I assist by like pushing?
Yeah,
up
can
from
I-
underneath?
Can I also help? 'Cause
Yeah, if
I'm
you
not
all
just-
are, if you are helping, you can roll this at advantage.
A dirty 20.
With a dirty 20, you're able to, it's almost like rotting so much it feels soft as you're managing
Ugh.
to pick it up, and you can feel the material. It's cold material too as you pick this tree up, just enough for Friedrich and Dahlia to scoot out.
I'm gonna go over to the
Mini,
stump. Is it a
thanks.
clean break or is it like like did it snap naturally?
Give me an investigation check.
I don't want that dice anymore. Okay. 18.
18. This is a natural break. That wind that you all started to experience almost as soon as everything turned dark and cold and shadowy is how it snapped.
So do we still see kind of that like barrier between? Are we like fully in?
The barrier is now gone. And everything is dark. There is no sun in the sky. There is no moon in the sky. It's just dark
Well,
and cold. And you hear from all
Right.
directions.
Can I scramble and find the book, wherever I may have dropped it, and pick it up?
Yeah.
Just gonna hold it out. Can you see me right now?
I don't have eyes, but it doesn't sound like it was very good.
I'm sorry that maybe it was a trick of the eyes. It looked like there was sort of a feature on the book. I didn't know if it was an anatomical eye or just, I don't know. I'm talking to a book and I'm just sort of muttering to myself now.
So it does have a face on the front now that you've investigated it and pulled that whisper out. But it doesn't it's almost like for facial expressions to get the idea of how this thing is feeling. More so it can't necessarily speak from its mouth, it can't see from its eyes. You get the sense that the only reason that it can talk is because you're attuned to it.
Makes a lot of sense. Okay. When you say there's no sun, is it like nighttime? Or is it just like, does it look overcast? What level of light are we in?
You can see if you have dark vision, but it's dark. It's almost like the sky here is just black.
I have really good dark vision.
Oh, I do have dark
I
vision,
take off
sorry.
my
Yeah.
sunglasses.
yeah. Does Dahlia seem more comfortable right now than
Oh, yeah.
she would be during the?
Sun, yeah. She doesn't mind this. And she minds it.
All of your mounts are acting very nervous. Friend comes over to Dahlia and stands as close as he can.
Is he looking any certain direction?
everywhere.
Okay. Do the crystals have a time limit?
They do not.
I'm gonna pull mine out and kind of look at the others, kind of like see if they think we should cast it.
Are we like stopping or are we moving, like bubble and moving? Because that works. We found that out.
It's at least a good idea to get our crystals ready. And I'll fetch mine as well.
Yeah, I will
I
grab
will
mine.
get mine out as well. And are we using it now or are we waiting?
Try to get through it.
Perhaps we could use it just to sort of get our bearings, and then
We don't even know if they're
move
gonna
on.
work right now. I guess there's only one way to.
I would certainly want to try now while we have the opportunity to test, as opposed to right when we need it. I'm gonna set mine down and say
Yep.
have thine.
I'll do the same.
I'll follow.
Okay.
And as you all do this, those whispers seem like they're getting closer, and you hear a against your shield as one of the shadows that you all are used to starts banging into your shield, trying to get in. And then you have another one, and then another one, and then another one. And you just hear the whooshing of their immaterial forms almost. Like their spectral forms as they just hit and hit and hit and hit.
Attracted to the shield?
Would Dahlia know if they are attracted to the shield or if they're attracted to blood?
Roll me. Oh, what would this even be? Roll me an investigation check.
Investigation. Okay. I hate all my dice. Hey, I rolled one of L's. It's a natural 19, so it's a dirty 20.
Hey! So you
Heyo.
get the idea with that 19 or 20 that it's dark here, and the crystals that you set off are a light source.
They like the light.
Ooh. So
If we dismiss them, you think they'll go away?
They could cast darkness around us. Oh. I wonder what would happen if I cast darkness around the bubble. But that means they're not getting through, so.
We also wouldn't be able to see, though, would we?
yeah, because
I
if it's
could.
magical darkness, I'm not seeing. I don't have the ability to see through that currently.
Is there any, like, rocks or pebbles on the ground inside of our bubble?
I'll say there's some small ones, yeah.
Can I pick one up and throw it outside? Trying to hit one of those spirit things, or whatever it is.
Go for it.
I'm gonna pick it up and throw it.
And when you throw it, it leaves the sphere and goes right through that shadow's face.
I had a feeling that would happen, but I wanted to try.
But with you getting a closer look, it's almost like just a piece of skin. No facial features. No mouth. Just a hood and a piece of skin with no face.
I'm gonna cast Speak with Dead.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm curious. So she does she takes a minute and then mentally steps through that veil into whatever in between this is. And just kind of, can you hear me?
It's going to turn its face to you. Or not its face, its skin.
It's
Yeah.
It's skin flap. It's turning its
Ugh.
skin flap in your direction.
bad. You have any words? Hmm. Yeah, I don't know.
And it's still
It's
looking
still-
at you.
Just the one.
The one you cast it on, yes.
I have a dumb idea. What if we set the fallen tree on fire and the spores explode to have their light source and then we can leave?
Sounds like an intelligent idea.
Makes as much sense to me.
Being a wizard and having that spell, do I know that that's what Dahlia cast?
Give me an Arcana check.
$16.
I'd say, yeah, you know what the spell is.
So I could deduce that. Do others around that didn't cast it hear the dead speak?
Only the person who cast it. But you would hear Dahlia asking those questions. Or can
I
they?
think speak with
know.
dead.
Can everybody hear
makes or I
Well, in the
I'm
D&D
pretty
movie.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. I was like,
pretty
wait,
sure-
in the D&D movie,
Who works in the
everybody...
movie?
I'm pretty sure it brings it back and you can ask it 5 questions, but the only person that can ask the question is supposed to be the person that cast the spell.
But
if I
can everybody
remember
hear
correctly.
it?
I think so, but it's been a long time since I've cast Speak with Dead.
So we
There's
got the
not
movie.
much
How does it work in
information
Baldur's
on
Gate?
it.
Can everyone hear speak with dead answers?
Put 5e on there. Google thinks you're weird.
Only questions asked by the count or caster count towards the 5 questions.
The spell is 5 questions.
All right, but it's
Answers
just
are
saying
brief,
you can
cryptic, or
ask
repetitive.
questions.
So maybe it's DM's discretion.
Yeah.
You know what? Let's say everybody hears it.
So we
You
just
hear it purring.
I hear creepy purring.
Great.
Great.
I like that idea of creating a distraction, an alternate
And it might not work.
light
So we
source.
might have to fight him. So
It's definitely worth a try. Is anyone particularly good
Yep.
with fire?
I mean, I literally have a cantrip I have a spell called Create Bonfire over there, and I point at the tree. I point at the tree that that got.
you casting
Yeah,
it?
create a bonfire on the ground I can see within range. Fills a 5-foot cube. I'm not putting it at anybody so they don't take any damage, but
Okay. We'll say that this, you point it towards the tree, and the tree immediately catches on fire. And you hear this screech from all of these shadows that were hitting the sphere, and they rush over to the fire, except for the one that was talking to Dahlia.
oh fucker. Go roast marshmallows or something.
And it just stares.
She'll drop the
Run.
spell.
And when you drop the spell, it goes with the others.
All right, time to go. Let's go. She'll
are
pick up her
we
stone.
dropping the crystals and going?
Have fun.
Not keeping the light source up.
Can we?
I don't
So
think-
dark vision can see in this condition.
Everything's in scale, or like grayscale. So you have
I
no
s-
color, but you can see if you have dark vision.
Okay.
I say we drop it and go. Got to get through this.
I agree.
Right.
All right.
She'll pick up her stone. She'll lead the way. She's, well, yeah.
I
She'll
will
just start
gladly
moving.
follow.
Yep.
And if we start hearing like spirit or hearing the sound of like spirits as we move, I'll like pick a tree.
Yoink.
And I will say
'Cause
that
it's-
this area looks just like where you all were originally walking. Like it's like the exact same road, the exact same trees.
Have either the professor or Velfie brought up the Shadow Realm at all? I mean, I know that Ruin has like information, but I don't specifically know that.
The only thing that I brought up about the Shadow Realm was
You guys got a book.
that I know that there's all kinds of monstrosities that can pick up weapons that come from there, but I have not read the book about the Shadow Realm yet.
Now's probably not a good time to book read.
I haven't read much either, and I haven't had the chance to share what the other book has been telling me.
From the stuff that I read in my book, do I feel like this would be a situation where I could potentially communicate with the things that we're running into in this current situation?
Give it a try.
I mean, I don't want to talk to them right now because they're busy they're busy
With-
having a cookout.
With what you've read, maybe.
We're going. I'm not gonna like.
All right, well, mount up, guys. Let's ride.
Yes.
Sally ho.
Sally forth.
Sally forth.
Or ho.
Sally,
Either one.
Sally's a hoe.
I don't know
Sally.
where it came from. And
I
I've never met a Sally in my life.
don't.
And as you all start to walk forward and leave these shadowy things behind, it's almost like you blink and everything goes back to normal.
I look back. Is there any darkness?
Yeah. Do
None.
we like? Do we see a
Everything is
tree?
back?
Like, do we even see a tree on fire or?
You do not see a tree on fire, but you do see a broken tree.
Do we want to walk back towards it? Like, this is weird. Like, has Dolly ever experienced this in the field before?
Ruin's gonna turn around, like get off of Lucky,
Yeah.
turn around and walk 60 feet back. Like back toward her back, yeah, just to see if anything happens.
Nothing.
Even if I go all the way back to that tree.
Just a normal tree.
Well, this is weird.
I mean, this is similar to that
That's sparkling.
sparkling, and I
Flash
I
of-
pull out the little like, because I still have one use, I guess, of the weird water that we found.
But I will also say, like that flash, that tear that I saw while I was keeping watch was bright colors, and this is not bright colors, or that was not
It's-
bright colors.
It's like the exact opposite.
Right.
I'm going to pull the spell book out and just hold it out and say, what did you just do?
Why is everything my fault?
Okay. Whatever just happened, and Friedrich's getting a bit angry here. Whatever just happened, has never happened to me before. As I look around, hopefully for nods of approval, but I don't know if I'll get them all.
Well, I'm kind of just looking over at the professor because he's talking to a book that we can't hear.
yeah.
Instead, it was, what did
So-
you do? So it's like, is the
Yeah.
book? Do we need to burn it?
And
Yeah,
Don't you
I'm
dare
like
burn me.
pulling. I'm like pulling my hand out, like preparing to like.
it's
Did that
never
Not
happened
creepy thing do it?
before. And I'll be like, I'm trying to get to the source of the truth. And I just look back to my book and start talking again like a weirdo. It's never happened to me before. And it didn't happen until I started talking to you. Now, I am a scientist. I do know correlation does not mean causation, but it's a bit odd. I start talking to an odd looking spell book that is yelling at me. Mind you, you are yelling at me the entire time I've been talking to you. And then we're thrust into whatever the hell's
Hell?
that was.
I'm gonna like kind of walk over to Velfie while the professor's like talking to his book and be like, is this what I looked like when I was talking to myself?
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh,
It's a little unnerving.
yeah, okay.
I do not know what occurred, but I am very tired of people blaming it on me. So you know what? Goodbye.
And the face is going to retract and your book's going to get silent.
Did you hurt your book's feelings, Professor?
I'm going to walk back and I'm going to slide the book into a pouch or saddlebag I have on Beatrice and go back to the group and say, my apologies. I'm not meaning to hide conversation. This has been a bit much today. Do you all remember when we were under that mansion, we found the writings by Kirik Biradal, whoever this researcher character was?
Yes.
Can lean in very quietly to Dahlia as well. Say,
Dahlia's gonna walk away from this conversation, just with her animal.
okay.
She's gonna walk away.
He lives in my book.
Hey.
I think he lives in my book. The voice in the
Oh.
book, which you've probably seen me talking to.
Yes, Professor. It's you're about as secretive as a hammer to the face.
That's a good metaphor. Okay. He lives in the book. He's talking to me. He's very angry. He's been trapped in the book. He's saying some things that make me question the official story of this world we live in.
Stuff like what?
Claims that Narvosc put him in this book 140 years ago. But Narvosc died 152 years ago.
How does one go about putting a soul into an inanimate object? Wait.
Honestly, I had not
Oh
even
wait, I
pondered
don't
that
know that.
question
I
yet,
don't
but
know
it's a
that
good
part of
one.
the. I don't know that stuff. Like, how does one? How would you put a soul into a book? Like, there's no way that I know of to put a soul into an inanimate object.
I don't know. I have some books that may explain it. I think I chose the wrong one to read this morning, it seems, or maybe the right one.
I mean,
But it's odd. It's odd. And there's a timeline discrepancy there. I don't know. I can't prove it's him. I don't know if he would be lying to me or not, if it's even him. But it's odd we've heard that name. Also something about a shadow realm and a
Feel-
gift.
I feel
And-
like we all learned quite a bit of random stuff from books in the last couple of days, in the last day.
Yeah. How far away did Dahlia walk?
Enough to like she's still close by, just kind of petting friend, but
Like, are you
Out of
trying?
earshot.
Are you trying to be ear? Okay.
I mean, no one's around us. Are we like in the middle of the woods right now?
Yeah, y'all are pretty much in the middle of nowhere.
I'm just gonna pop my head up and say, Miss Dahlia, are you familiar with the name Kirik Biradol?
is she at all?
She's heard it slightly in passing in the past couple weeks. Or, yeah, past couple weeks, week and a half.
From anyone specific?
Higher ups.
Okay.
And they
Yeah.
are excited.
Yeah. Yeah. Some of the high tables, they're called? No, those are the masks. Or is it the high table?
High table is above the masks. But that excitement's kind of come down from the high table.
Yeah. So yeah, the high table
Would
is
Ruin
excited.
know any of these like references? The high table. I mean, the masks, yes, but the high table.
Yeah, I
that
don't think
be-
Velfie knew about the high table.
Belfi would not. Friedrich would not. Ruin, give me a history check.
But Dahlia uses the phrase "the high table" in the
Mhm.
response.
Saying
12.
the high table is mentioned.
With a 12, you've heard that there is somebody above the masks, but you do not know much about them, and no one really does.
And I'm gonna like just look over at Dahlia and just be like, "Are you worried that certain people are listening?"
Not all secrets can stay hidden, even if they try hard to keep them secret. Sometimes there's magical means to pull it out.
So certain conversations should stay away from
Me.
others' ears at times.
Me.
My apologies. This makes a lot of sense. Okay. So hearing that, a bit quieter to the people closer to me, but still, I don't know. I don't want to keep secrets. But does it feel like Dahlia is requesting or warning, like, I don't want to hear this?
It's more of warning to be careful of what you say.
Is anyone familiar with the Shadow Realm? I
Well,
dare say we may all be familiar with it now, if you're thinking what I'm thinking.
If
Yeah,
that was the Shadow Realm.
Did
Yeah.
we or how far into, now that we're back in the light, how far into the day is it?
It's probably around 4-ish. You all have been walking a little while, and after that situation, so it's not quite time to bunk down, but
Okay.
you might want to start looking at it soon.
Okay. I just didn't know if we wanted to have this conversation on the open road or because we're still like basically in the middle of the road talking kind of as we're like plodding along, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely learned some things from the book that I found that I had no idea about before.
Well, I did get a book on the Shadow Realm, so I will be reading
So
that tonight.
It looks like we're gonna be doing some
Got some homework.
reading and brainstorming.
I mean,
Yay!
the name alone makes me think that's where we just were, or
Very shadowy
Or-
over there.
It was very shadowy,
Or-
and I'm gonna look over at Dahlia, and you didn't feel the same like effects that you're probably feeling right now, right?
From the sun. Yeah, the sun's
Yeah.
very bright.
Huh. That's a development.
I have one more memory jogging question for DM and party. Help me. The dark stuff, or liquid that we found, we don't. Do any of us actually know that it was found? Did Ruin ever share that?
Yeah,
I
you
think
all
he-
knew.
Yeah, everybody saw it. I just
Okay.
kept it.
We don't know that part. We don't know where it made its way off to. Okay.
No, I brought. Well, I mean,
I thought he got injected with it.
we brought it to the. We brought it to the Order when we completed that mission. And
But then, did Ruin share all
and
of that
I-
with us at the Druid Grove? I
believe
forgot
did I
about that
share
part.
the? Yes, yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't shared it with Dahlia.
Okay.
That's not a conversation that's been had.
Okay. I'm just trying to.
And
like,
probably
separate
not.
what
Well,
know
I mean,
versus-
it's one that, like, that part could be. But
I wanted to, in my head, I'll touch the journal and kind of like think of Scholar
Hmm.
and ask, do you know anything about the Shadow Realm?
It's going to take a little while for him to respond. But
So try not to panic.
he's giving me the silent treatment.
it's almost like he was
Yeah, you too.
thinking. But you finally hear him respond.
Well, it's so much nicer talking to you outside of the city.
Mm.
Like I can breathe. Shadow Realm. I don't know much on it. And I do know
And he pauses for a second. Roll me a persuasion to see if you can get him to say it.
Oh, where's my mouse? Where's my mouse? Okay, there we go. Persuasion. Okay. 14?
the Order has created a bond with a creature from Shadow.
The
That is
Order has
all I know.
created a bond.
A bond with a creature from Shadow.
Okay. Do you know anything about that creature of shadow?
The less you know, the safer you are.
Okay.
And I don't.
And they know?
The less they know, the safer they are.
So we're just supposed to be ignorant?
They protect this thing.
They
The Order.
protect this shadow thing. So just ignore it and keep living in ignorance.
Knowledge is power. But the more knowledge someone has, the more sorrow they have to.
Ignorance is bliss.
Yes.
You really believe that? Why would you write it all down?
If I hadn't wrote it down, they killed me, you know.
Yeah.
And I don't want them doing the same to you. And they will certainly try.
Whole world is trying.
You're not wrong there. You always were smart. You always are smart.
And she'll just head back to friend.
And before you get to friend, it's almost pleading.
Please don't be mad at me for trying to protect you.
No. No. Just mad at the situation.
That is an anger quite justified. I'm sorry.
I know.
And friend is just nuzzling his friend as you come over after a tree almost squished you.
Yeah. I'll get back on him. Tally ho, or is it Sally? I don't know. Sally. Should we go?
Tally, I don't. We're some of the
Sally
phrases
forth?
that people use confuse me.
What, Belfie?
Sally forth.
Sally forth.
Sally
What they
fifth.
said. Dave 7th.
Hmm.
And you all are able to continue your journey. And nothing else drastic happens. It's kind of quiet, very peaceful. And the sun starts to set.
You
I
guys
guess
ever
it's
try
about
to
that
trap one of the shadows inside the bubble? Could they get out when they were inside it?
Well, it seems like they
don't
can't
know.
get in, so I feel like they wouldn't be able to get out.
I don't know why we would want to.
But-
Just
but
I wouldn't want to
interesting.
be in there with
like
it.
typically
Well, we can learn about
have
it more.
we seen the shadows before we use the crystal?
Peptide.
Y'all have fought some of these shadows. When y'all fought the beholder zombie. Mm-hmm.
That's a sentence.
Okay.
Beholder zombie.
Yeah.
Yeah. As the DM in me was like, the fuck, L.
So cool.
I mean,
I don't know. Just another. Stupid idea.
I don't know how you would get that like timing wise and being like, okay, bubble right now. It just
So, but what would we do once we trapped it?
Kill it. Easier.
I mean,
Can't
if
run
we-
away.
But that would mean
have
we're
no idea.
outside of the bubble, right?
Or we're in it with it. Kill it. This is just late night thoughts with Dolly.
Yeah.
So.
Maybe we could
Speaking
try
of
to,
that,
like, reach out and pull one
find a
in.
place to pull off, right? It's starting to get. I mean, I know you're probably comfortable, Dahlia, because
Yeah.
dark. But
Yeah, missions just throw off my schedule, my sleep schedule.
Roll me a survival check to see if you find a nice place to bunk for the night.
Everyone
Whoever's looking.
or certain person.
And if y'all all want to help, you can all roll.
Can I
I
assist?
mean,
Yeah.
my survival is pretty fantastic, so I would like to roll to help.
I got a nat 1 + 1.
Ooh!
Delphi
Don't
doesn't
worry,
see
guys.
anything. There's a tree.
Got this.
there's a tree. She's looking back at the tree that fell down.
I got a 22.
Will.
21.
Nice.
I got a 16, but a 22 sounds like Dahlia knows where to go.
Dahlia sees this perfect little spot. It's covered. It's got tree cover. It's really nice and firm, not like muddy or anything. It's off the road. It looks really,
Is there
really
a
nice.
tree for the professor to climb so he can be all Spider-Man or
Always.
Spider-Orc?
Spider orc.
Part elf, part orc, part elk.
No.
And
Part
now
elk.
I forgot about that.
And now that I have my elk.
They're like, I see the resemblance.
Oh
The elk looks over at the professor and goes,
my god.
Father?
Oh my gosh.
Father, help. So you are all
oh
able
no,
to
my boy!
my boy, go to this spot and get yourself situated. What all would you like to do?
Set up the crystals and
Yeah.
do
have
all of that
fun.
stuff.
Have fine. And given what we just went through, Velfi is going to take out the book about the Shadow Realm, written coincidentally by Narvosc, and she's gonna read it.
Give me an investigation check to see what you get.
Okie dokie. I'm gonna do this in the dice tower.
Does it have the full name on
Yeah.
the book?
Yep.
What was the full name again?
Tagon Narvosc.
Tagon.
That's either a good look or a bad look.
No. It's a nat 1 + 4.
Throw away that
You
dice.
have 8,000 inspiration points.
That's true. I think I might use one. And that was your dice, Elle. I'm sorry.
Was it
They
was
gave
it
me-
in the tower or was it free?
Straight to
It
jail.
was in the tower.
No.
Yeah.
Maybe,
That's
maybe the
twice
tower
it
needs
gave
to
me
be
a nat 1.
blessed.
Maybe.
The tower hasn't gone through the rites.
The same dice give you a
Has
nat 1? Oh no.
Yeah.
That was
Oh,
the
no.
one she waited and meant to give to me.
All right, so I'm gonna use my inspiration point. I'm gonna go. My dice got stuck in the middle.
No.
Okay, hold on.
Act.
Yeah. Okay, hold on.
Maybe that's the process of blessing it.
Why it got
Yeah.
stuck again? The heck? It's not coming out.
Oh,
Oh
Uh-oh.
no. Is it slightly bigger than the other ones?
Ah! It might be. Okay, I'll just do it on my little tray. Okay, that
live.
is in 22.
All right.
Yeah.
With a
That's
22.
a lot better than a 1.
Yes. With a 22, you get the realms sit on top of each other. Almost like layers. There's the celestial realm. Not much known on that. The Fey realm. Time fluctuates very differently. It's very brightly colored. And there are deep connections to nature. The Shadow Realm. It's cold. Everything's gray and shades of gray. Deep connections to the abyss. Hells have devils. And the material plane, from what is known, sits between the Fae and the Shadow.
Well, that makes sense. Huh. Interesting. So, and that's all she gets.
That's all she gets.
Okay. So I think Velfie will gather Ruin and the professor, and heeding Dahlia's warning, she will not grab Dahlia and relay that information to Ruin and Friedrich. So-
While Velfie's grabbing, reading her book, I'm like unpacking the giant rock that is the.
But yeah, so the material plane, which I presume is the plane we are on, sits right in between the Fae and Shadow, which, given what we've seen so far, makes a lot of sense.
I would say so.
So we agree what we saw today was probably the Shadow Realm, right? Based on that.
I would agree.
I feel like it was that similar, like we saw that tear, and then suddenly whatever that brightness was when we found that water. And now similarly, we kind of walked through something into. So we like somehow walked into the Shadow Realm. I don't.
We're fairly certain that spring we found earlier, our last mission would have been the Fey Realm then?
I would get. I mean, judging by what did Velfie share the information that she gleaned from the book?
Yeah, I shared all of it.
So going by the colors of everything, like it was very. I mean, those were the brightest colors that I've ever seen in my entire existence.
Yes.
Velfie doesn't say anything about the space between the realms or instances where they might merge or overlap or tear in some way.
I didn't read any of that, but I could go back to the book and I can consult the book.
Just wonder how close they are. If every experience we've had with them seems to have been accidental. It's not like we were trying to travel between them.
It's almost kind of like maybe something's unstable.
Yes, that's a good point.
Now, the last time that we were in the order, like in the tower, I remember hearing something or seeing something about the crystal not looking like it was normal, like it looked off. I mean, it was forever ago.
And that's the day that Friedrich had fairy fire and the alarms had gone off.
Yep.
And that was the day they just let Friedrich through, right? And said that it wasn't the first time it had happened that day.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
When we were in the Shadow Realm and we pulled out our crystals and did all that, did they look or act any differently than they do in the material plane?
No.
And we're relatively certain that whatever crystal protects Sydonea is similar to what we hold.
You can assume.
Assume, yeah.
the other thing, or I mean, kind of like adding to everything that we've just learned. Apparently, and I pull out the tome, and I like lay it in front of Velfi and the professor, because that's the only way I know of to like set it in front of anybody. And I like, because was the map in, like, was it folded up in the book, or was it like a page in the book?
It's like a page in the book. You know how books have like
Okay.
the map on the front page? Kind of like
Right.
that.
So I like show him the map, and it's the apparently that's the that's Shadowfen, and that's where Goliaths come from. But from the little that I've been able to read, granted I'm not as deep into reading as y'all are, Goliaths might be able to speak to, it says speak to it. I don't know if that means Shadow Realm. I mean, we weren't in a spot where I felt comfortable, like, or proving a hypothesis while shadows were all around us.
Always
Is-
have to take the opportunity for knowledge.
You know what?
You've always been my favorite student. And as Friedrich says it, there's a bit of a far off look in his eyes, but also a smile.
So I don't know, like, I mean, I don't know any of this. I mean, I've just like sat down, or I just read that much last night. I don't know what else is.
Well,
I don't know if I'm missing something, or
This shadow fin, is it in the shadow realm?
I don't. I'm
With that,
gonna
I'm gonna-
like I'm gonna look off into the ether and look at the DM and be like, I don't know? Question mark. That
you
didn't.
do not know, but someone in the party does.
As he's pondering, I'm gonna pop up and go to,
wait, what was the question?
is shadow fin in the shadow realm?
Oh.
I'm gonna go to Beatrice and grab a book that I brought out of it called Shadowfin's Virus, because that name has sort of jogged my memory.
Okay.
Can I start thumbing through it?
Yeah, give me an investigation check.
What does the inside leaf cover say?
What is the?
Just kidding. What's the ISBN? Investigation.
What's the Amazon?
21.
With a 21, this is someone's personal journal. The name has kind of been smudged out. What you can collect with a 21 is Shadowfin's virus seems to be created by man. Something went wrong and it went out of control. Virus may not be a virus at all. Something used to make us stronger? Bodies from our plane. Can they handle it or no? Seems to have originated from Aurora Research Base.
I'm assuming, I don't know how much that can be confirmed. I'm assuming it's called Shadowfin's virus because it originated from Shadowfin, is what it sounds like.
You get that idea.
And does it sort of resonate a bit with what I heard Kiruk say about a gift that gives you power?
Yes. And with your recollection from earlier, Aurora, the research team from Aurora, where Kiruk got kicked out of.
That he'll show them. I'm going to start sharing these details with Ruin and Velfi. Again, being cognizant of Dahlia's request / warning earlier. Sort sort of giving like a knowing, inviting, but also understanding glance. If I can wrap 3 emotions into one, to Dahlia, and then sharing that with Velfi and Ruin about what Kirik said about a gift, and then what I know about what Ruin went through with that material.
And I
And I'll
didn't
ask them, like,
did I divulge seeing the big bird or the big skeletal thing?
You said you shared
It was-
everything.
Oh
so-
yeah, I did. Okay. I'm just making sure that I had, yeah, I couldn't remember if I had said.
I honestly couldn't remember either. I had to ask El that like over the weekend. I was like, how much did he share? Because I'm so hard, separating character knowledge from player knowledge. But
Yep.
Yeah.
Pretty sure I
Anyway.
said, yeah, when I came out of the thing and could actually speak freely, I was like, I just laid it out all on the table.
did you, this is directed at Ruin, did you feel a type of power or something from this material? Do you think it could be this gift that they're referring to, or this,
That was
whatever
so
it is coming out of Shadowfin?
El, that was when I like game phrasing gained a level off of like injecting the
Yes, and he told you would have to
Right.
come back for constant injections, and that was going to be how Ruin leveled up.
So yes, it 100. I mean, it made me exponentially more powerful. But it seemed like either I would have to come back to get more powerful, or every injection kept it under control. I don't
Yeah,
know.
What's interesting is with Kirok, you did Friedrich share that Kirok said his mortal body was the thing that we killed?
Yeah, I would share that.
Okay. So what's interesting to me is if Kirok had injected himself with the same substance, he morphed into some sort of being. However, Ruin is still Ruin.
But they did say that if I got strong enough, I could turn into something, or I could turn into something similar to that thing that I explained.
So maybe
So
you
I don't
needed
know.
like they're giving like less concentrated doses, and once you reach your maximum, you transform into some sort of beast or
Yeah,
creature.
I don't know if it was like you permanently transform into it, or you
Well, seeing
could
as
control
how
the transformation, or
I would say it might be
don't-
permanent, seeing as how Kirok's body had stayed that way the entire time he was locked away in the safe.
right.
Right.
But
and
if he
sort of
just
speak of, like,
injected
his
a whole,
body was
Yeah.
ruined.
but if he didn't have, I don't. I mean, this is
Because
all
if he wasn't able,
beyond.
like in his body to control it, then maybe I don't.
At what point did he leave his body? Well, what was the state of it when he Ruin, when you took this stuff, did you feel in control the whole time?
That is a good question. Let me think about it for a minute and ponder my life.
I'm
I don't. I mean, I felt under control, but anytime I tried to do something that was against its wishes, like I would it felt like it was taking control. So I don't know.
My train of thought, sort of where I'm going with this, is on the medical side, you have medicine, of course, which is meant to cure or heal or treat or perhaps even prevent something. But oftentimes you're either opening yourself up to the possibility of something else when you take that, or you should only take a certain dosage because too much could have even the opposite intended effect, something much more harmful. It seems to be, I would call this at best a perverse type of medicine, but it almost seems like that. Like maybe there's an amount that is on the whole beneficial,
like,
but it's
would I-
dangerous
would
to
I
toy
have-
with that.
I mean, I saw the thing that I got injected with. Would I be able to like know an like approximate size so I could kind of give the professor a general idea of how
large that being was?
how large the thing, the like
The amount that was
vial,
injected.
or
The
what- the amount that
Vial thing.
the vial that I was injected with.
It filled up half a syringe.
Oh, so not much.
No, it seemed like it. I mean, it was, but, and Elle, correct me if I'm wrong in the way I'm going to explain it. When I like went against what the thing told me to do, when we let the girl go in the grove, I started seeing like black veins going up my, like further up my hand.
Very similar
Like,
to
it was-
Arlo.
Yeah, it reminded me a lot of how Arlo looked, and that was from his bite, right? Like so it's a similar situation, but it's like a controlled infection, I guess.
I have an odd question for the DM. Is there such a thing in our world that we're aware of like narcotics, essentially? Like recreational drugs that, if taken to excess, can do a lot of harm to you, but people still sort of chase whatever high they get from them. Is that a thing?
You know of the halfling's leaf, and you know of alcohol. But you don't necessarily know of any other pills. Or injections.
You mean this world doesn't have cocaine?
What?
I was thinking, it's like you do a little bump, you're good. You do too much, you start doing the bidding of an evil primordial being.
You do too much, you start attacking people's horses with a
But
stick. I don't.
there is a sentence in that book you just read that said the virus may not be a virus at all.
Was it like a living thing that people are being injected with? Or like, now, the screams that we heard when I lit the tree in the shadow, in the shadow realm, if it was actually the shadow realm on fire, that was from the shadows, not from the tree itself.
Give me an investigation check.
Nope. That's a 1. Nope.
You don't know if it was from the tree, the shadows, or something else. But while y'all are debating all that, Dahlia, your stone's gonna tingle.
Okay.
So
Stones are tingling.
Oh, good God.
What?
Okay, I'll pull it out.
I think I have figured something out, but it may take a few weeks. I'll try not to get ourselves fried in the process.
And it's only a one and done.
It is a one a day.
Okay.
Or, yeah, once per dawn. So you could send it tonight and then send another one tomorrow if you wanted to. Or tomorrow morning.
Okay. Mm. Yeah. I'll construct anything if I think of anything, but I don't have anything at the moment.
Sounds
I'll
good.
let you know if I do.
We're going to pan back over to our little huddled conversation.
Shadowfen. Shadow Realm. They share a name.
Would I be able to like ask my new patron if we're on the right track of feeling like this thing is like the stuff that's being used is a living thing from the shadow realm, or
Give me a nature check. See if you can call her.
no, probably not. That's a 9.
She does not come through at the moment.
I mean, that's fair. We haven't really talked much since
And you do remember she sounded almost weak.
yeah. Yeah, I'm at my I mean, unless I sit down and read more in this book and maybe learn something, I don't know if I'm gonna get like if there's anything else that
Yeah. Same with mine. And the more I read, the more I will inform you guys.
yeah.
Alfie, does that book have any sort of date markings in it? Any indication of when it may have been written?
Let me look at it.
You see the year 832.
The
832.
piggybacking yeah.
Just 832.
Just 832.
Piggybacking off of that one, does my book even have like an author on it?
Nope.
I mean, I know it's just a bit and okay. That's weird.
Okay, so the year in the book is 832.
Just that alone tells me it was written
Pre.
before any of this happened. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it must have been close because it was written by Narvosc.
So clearly he was interested in the topic of realms and potential realm travel.
And perhaps succeeded, since now we have this ichor that's being injected into people.
We don't have any more of
And-
that stuff, do we?
Nope.
Hmm.
And it's like a very select group of people. I mean, from what I remember, there I don't remember exactly how many masks there were, but
Roll a history check.
and that I mean, I know there was a bunch of them,
Search
but
your
I don't
feelings.
Natural 20. It would be a 21. A 21.
You, with a 21, you remember chameleon, owl,
Is that? Yeah.
crow,
Okay.
wolf, cat, bear, and dragon.
7.
You do not recall seeing fox.
So 7 masks. So I know of 7 masks, and then there's the fox mask, but the fox mask wasn't there in the whole. Ignatius was there.
Who is this Ignatius character?
Yeah, I hear his name.
Would they have seen? I mean, obviously they don't go into the but he is the he's the it lives in the church. I mean, he doesn't come out very often from unless it's important to him. He's a special case.
Like a religious
one might,
leader?
and I'll say it loud enough for Dahlia to kind of hear. One might call him greasy.
Does he wrestle at the bar?
No, no, I think he just sweats grease.
Disturbing.
And Dahlia
I
does hear the
couldn't-
greasy comment.
She chuckles and agrees.
But I didn't feel like I won. I mean, he's the one that saved me. So I didn't feel like I could talk back to him. But knowing what I mean, if they had information like what I've got now, and you could bring in somebody that can speak to the thing, because I don't see any. I mean, I didn't see any of the masks that looked like they were a Goliath. I mean, I don't see any other of us around.
Do you
So-
think that was their intention, their machinations for you to use you as a mouthpiece?
I mean, Ignatius probably anything to. He's that type that would want to further his station, and if he was the one that brought I don't want to call myself that, but a chosen one in, imagine what that would do for him. That was always has always been his MO, was as long as it makes him look good, he's all for it. Or look good to who he cares about. I mean, I don't know anything Dahlia said something about the high table or whatever. I don't know anything further other than there's a word that is, there's people above the masks. I don't know what that.
What it sounds like with that kind of name, high table.
Yeah.
And being able to claim that you speak for or on behalf of some
Otherworldly
deity,
entity that
something.
that the
Big power
order
move.
made a deal with or is using, or I mean, imagine what that would do for your power or station.
And y'all will notice it is starting to get really late with all of these conversations, all of this reading. And in order to get a good 8 hours, you might want to go ahead and start getting ready for sleep.
I do want to reply
Ooh.
to Belsov's message. I'll just say it's been on for 12 years. A few more weeks won't hurt. But do not do anything that would hurt you or Crow.
And you did say that Crow was at my like indoctrination
Mm-hmm.
type of thing, right?
Yep,
Okay.
Crow was there.
Okay.
And I did say that out loud because I had to speak into it.
So I'd
Yeah,
say
I'm
y'all
just
would hear
trying
that.
to remember for my. I'm trying to remember for my own like.
Right. Yep. So, watches.
Well, Professor only needs 4 hours of sleep.
That is true.
I
Yes.
believe Drow need 4 hours too.
I think so, too.
I think you've got the elf power.
I think so. It's like, dude,
Power.
oh, that's right. Yep. I forgot people do 8 hours. But yeah.
I'm going to do elk.
I mean, not
No.
when you're a night owl, but you know, hey, what are you gonna do?
So, do we want to do what we used to do with Sheila?
The like 3 watches or
4 and 4?
oh wait 4. Oh yeah, because
Yeah.
they can do 4 and 4.
Mhm.
I mean, it's up to them. I'm
I'm usually on my own, so it doesn't matter.
I can take first watch. We can do 4 and 4. Dolly, if you'd like to split it.
Yeah, just wake me up. She'll settle down and be asleep right away.
Okay, good. Okay.
She's gone.
immediate like I feel like it's laying down in a coffin for Dahlia. Is just like, "Nyeh."
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, she's curled up, but yeah, it's like this is normal.
Say Ruin lays down, almost goes to sleep about as, but I think I'm like sleeping with the book right next to me, like not like huddled up with the book because it's a rock.
All right, and as everybody gets settled in to go to sleep, Friedrich, will you give me a perception check for your watch?
Yeah, and I do want to say before I start my watch and before my rest, Friedrich is feeling a bit more exposed and antsy than usual with all the conversation of the day. I'm going to cast Mage Armor on myself.
Okay.
And then I'll start my watch. You said perception?
Yes, please.
It's a 19.
It's compared to the busy day you all had. It's quiet. You hear the nighttime sounds, but there is nothing else. There might be a little scuttle of a squirrel or a deer or something, but you don't see any shadows. You don't hear any whispers. Kirik is very quiet. You don't even hear the whispers from that book. Get the sense he is pouting.
A silent
Wow.
treatment from a book.
I will judge it by its cover.
Ayo.
Nothing out of the ordinary happens. And while you are on watch, Dahlia, everything fades to black. And then comes back in these bright colors. You see some golds, you see some reds, and everything else is mainly black and gray. As you see Scholar sitting there in his normal, like, crisscross applesauce, holding a book. Almost like he's engrossed in it.
Is it the journal?
It is the journal.
Can I move?
You can move. And these dream sequences, you can pretty much move and talk to him. You only really get these outside of the walls, outside of the sphere.
So this is normal for her.
This is normal.
Okay. She'll come up, sit crisscross applesauce in front of him.
You know, I hate this book and love this book at the same time.
He's gonna like snap it shut.
Why'd you write it then?
Thought I would be saving people. Didn't quite work that way.
Can it still?
Save people.
Yeah.
I don't really know. I don't think it can. It's almost like cursed knowledge in this book.
Cursed knowledge. Maybe cursed knowledge is what you need in a cursed land.
Maybe. You always are so smart.
And he gets this far away look in his eyes, since he has that beak face.
You know, I used to be a paladin.
Yeah? For who?
A high table.
Ah. Any names? For who?
None that I'm ready to share yet.
Yeah. Did they kill you?
Didn't really see the person who killed me, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Hmm.
And he looks like he goes to open his beak for just a second and closes it. Then he opens it again.
Be careful, Ewan. You and your newfound friends are getting really close to information that would condemn you and those walls.
I'm already condemned.
You know. Oh yeah, I refuse to believe.
I'm losing hope.
Well, a pretty strapping young lad that just... What did he say?
It's gonna get him killed. It's gonna get him killed.
Young men may have a little bit more potential than you give him credit for. It's a smart one, too.
Yeah.
Not as smart as you, of course.
You're telling that to someone who can't even read words.
Just because you can't read doesn't mean you're not smart. And used to say you can't learn.
Thought you didn't want me learning.
I never said I didn't want you to learn. I believe in you. Even if you don't.
I believe in you.
Well, then you believe in yourself too, then.
Well.
And he's
All
gonna
right.
give this like smug, like where he shakes his shoulders, like, "Ha! I won for now."
Battle of wits.
As this dream fades to black.
Hmm.
And Friedrich, that was the end of your watch.
So Dahlia will probably then wake up to an old orc elf looking over her like, good morning.
Morning.
Are you ready? It's been quiet.
Good. Are you all right?
A little on edge, but in a good way, or maybe a bad way. I don't know.
Did you choose to work in the field?
I did. But
Regret
despite
it?
my age, I haven't been out here very long.
Do you regret it? Yet?
No.
Hmm.
I don't regret it. I don't think I'm allowed to regret it. I feel more. It's hard to regret an obligation.
Yeah. All right. Get some sleep.
Thank you much. And I also immediately, as soon as I lay down, old man snore.
All right, and as we have that change, Dahlia, roll me a perception check.
Yes, ma'am.
14.
14. With a 14, everything seems quiet. Just the sounds of night. You don't hear any shadows. You don't hear any whispering. You do kind of pick up on Scholar kind of humming to himself. Very, very quietly. Almost like it's at the back of your skull. Just very quietly. But nothing stands out. You might hear a snore or two from Friedrich. And Friedrich, everything fades to black. And then reappears. And you see Zell standing in front of you. Very eagerly just writing things down, looking up at you with these big bright eyes, writing things down, and you can see that little necklace with the quill hanging from around his neck. As he goes, "What else you got? What we learning today? I'm excited. What else? What are you teaching today? You know, I'm here a little earlier so that way I can learn, before everybody else because I'm the favorite student."
I love an eager student. I think today we were learning about the circulatory system and blood flow within the body.
Ooh, that's just fascinating. I always wonder, would it be possible if the circulatory system was disrupted, if there's a way to kind of reconnect it? I've been thinking, so how blood flows through everything. We have a lot of reapers who die, but would it be possible to, take the blood from another and, put it into them? And that way, if something just goes wrong, at least, you can save the body that's there?
I mean, these are all very good questions. Things have been tried, sometimes successfully, sometimes unsuccessfully. Do you have an interest in this area in particular?
Well, I want to follow in your footsteps. But I also feel like I have a duty to the Order as well. I don't know, though. Mom doesn't want me to go. But I also just I want to be like you, but I also see so many of my friends going off and joining and trying to make this place a better place, and I'm just kind of on the fence.
It can be dangerous out there, but I mean that is the frontier of the world we live in. That is where new knowledge is to be gained. That is where, if you're inquisitive enough and you're a good bit younger than this old body I find myself in, you still have that opportunity if that's what you desire.
I don't really know what I desire. It's a little difficult. But if you think it's a good idea to go to the frontier, then maybe it's not that bad. Maybe Mom's just being overprotective too much.
I won't say it's not bad, but there's a balance between, safety and sort of living life to the fullest and seeking knowledge. And there's only so much you could learn behind a desk or in a classroom. Trust me, I may have should have gone out earlier myself, but at this age, I don't know. Maybe if I have any regrets, that's one of them.
Well, how about we make a deal? I join and then you go. And we do this together.
Yeah. Do you think, what do you think your mother would think of that?
Well, Mom says that the only tool and only weapon I need is a quill, and he's gonna pick up his little necklace. But, I mean, what do you say? Teacher and student changing the world. That sounds kind of fun, doesn't it?
Have a bit of a noble ring to it, doesn't it? Makes me feel a bit younger again.
Well,
Maybe something to think about. I say this not from firsthand experience. Parents try to do what's best for their children, or should rather. Many do try, but they don't always know exactly what their children should do with their lives, and she may just be trying to protect you, but sometimes you have to take those risks. Go out and do what you want to do.
Yeah, take the world by the horns or something like that. I think I read about that once.
Yeah, that sounds like a great way to put it.
And as you say this, your eyes go just slightly past Zell, and you see yourself standing in the back of the classroom, tears running down your face, almost like silently seeing this version of yourself screaming at yourself, no, don't tell him to do that. As this was the last time you saw that student. They died on their very first mission. And you never heard how. As everything fades to black. And everybody can click the long rest button.
I have not got a good night's sleep in 2 nights.
Do we hear the professor saying that as he wakes up?
I don't think I would be saying anything, but it would be very like, it wouldn't be the chipper good mornings of yesterday.
Well, Dahlia's making breakfast and campfire coffee.
Yay.
Ooh, yum.
Morning.
Good morning.
It is morning.
Morning.
It sure is,
So-
Professor. A
was
whole new
such a-
day.
Yeah, such a nice, like, sleep-filled night, not having to wake up. Forgot how much I appreciate having 2 people in the party that only need 4 hours of sleep.
Cool.
Would I
Yards
like
there.
would it is it obvious that the professor is off in his feels, or isn't like his normal self, or would that be he's trying to hide it?
I would say it's just quiet. There's not really a trying to hide it. I don't know the best way to describe it. I guess in a way trying to act like nothing's wrong, but doing a poor job of it.
Dahlia will just put a warm mug of coffee in his hands.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And Dahlia will actually feel the sending stone buzz.
It's the next day.
She'll head over to friend and pull it out and just be and listen to what anybody says.
I'll be safe. I can be amazingly witty. How do you know of Crow?
Ooh.
Oops. What did we?
Okay.
And just to clarify, he doesn't sound angry or anything, just very inquisitive on that last bit.
Yeah. I recognize the signs with her hands that she signs to me each time we see each other. Be safe. And that's what her message will be.
And he cannot respond back. But
No.
you get the sense that, like, immediately in the next dawn, you'll probably get another buzz.
Cool. I'll pocket it.
And what is Velfie doing this morning?
She's sipping on some
Calisthenics.
coffee. Writing in her journal, past events that have happened. Just kind of trying not to really think too much about anything, because then she'll start thinking too much and feel nothing.
We're all doing so great. Oh, okay.
And Ruin?
You're not cool unless you have voices in your head.
I guess Ruin woke up, and the first thing that I did after I had breakfast, and I flipped open the stone book in front of me and tried to get any more information than I already had.
Give me an
You should
investigation
talk to
check.
that one too. You should try talking to that one. Maybe that.
Yeah, I'll hold the book in front of my face and be like, "Do you talk?"
Your secrets.
Mainly to see if I can get a rise out of the professor, since he seems like he's. You said investigation?
Yes.
22.
22. So with a 22, you read up on some information that you already knew about how Goliaths have stone's endurance, how tough they are. That there aren't many Goliaths left. There are only a few tribes. but specifically the one in Shadowfen seems to developed some very interesting traits regarding the Shadow Realm.
It says interesting traits. It just says interesting traits. It doesn't get, or I don't get any like specific.
You don't get anything specific other than that. And then you get maybe deeper connected to the abyss.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Well, so it's kind of just like slightly adding to the information that I already had.
Mm-hmm.
That's basically what I. And then I'll look up and everybody looks like they're dead on the inside. And it's like, oh.
Dahlia's fine.
Coffee's helping.
Yeah, I was like, Dahlia looks normal. Maybe a little like pep in her step because she's talking to her friend. And not friend, but her friend. I might actually, because would I have, like, you said, or I don't remember if you said the night before that we heard you say crow.
I mean, she said it into
Or she was
the
saying,
stone.
okay, said it into the stone. Okay.
And I
didn't.
The bubble isn't very big, so.
Yeah. I might just kind of like walk up and would Ruin have had interactions with Crow at all, or is that more of a like I don't
You've seen Crow?
I've seen Crow, but not
The only
Okay.
one that you've had interactions with is Fox and Chameleon.
Yeah, because Chameleon was the one that told me to put a thing over my head, so I didn't know where I was going.
Yep.
And then Fox, we totally don't know who he is. No, I don't think I would. If I didn't have any interactions with Crow, I'd just kind of like clock that you said one of the masks and move on with my day, I guess. Think about the fact that I have Kara's, because I have Kara's sending stone.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're not cool unless you have a sending stone.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Professor sitting over-
Professor P.
Professor Zio.
Actually,
Gotta get one
Professor
for
Frederick
Joe.
has one.
Yeah, he does.
It's not my inventory.
Yeah, you have one to axe.
Oh, I do have my axe.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Crisis averted. We're okay.
Everyone's
there we go.
cool.
Now everybody's got sending stones.
Everyone's
I like
cool.
I like look at it. I think I pull the stone out since I don't have my luck stone right now, and I just kind of like look at it and I'm just like and like almost angrily stick it back into my pack.
And Velfi, you'll hear or feel your sending stone vibrate a little bit.
Girl got a text message.
Pretty much. And since you sent him a good morning text, he's sending you one. And it just says, "Hope you have a wonderful day today. Please be safe."
Okay. So she's going to respond. Thinking of you too. I hope things are going. Wait, no. Things are going as well as they can out here. Sending smiles until we meet again.
No. And as you guys are getting ready for the day, is there anything else you'd like to do before you embark?
Pick up my crystal.
Or say pick up the crystal, say
Yeah.
half thine to make the crystal close up.
I would do the same, and then
Same.
as I get close to my satchel on Beatrice, where I have the Librum, I would just lean in and say, "Good morning."
Hup.
That's all I'll say.
As your book just scoffs at you. And as you all embark, Dahlia, will you roll me a d20?
Yes.
Yay, somebody else gets to be the problem this time.
7.
Roll me a d6, please.
At a 1.
3.
Okay, 3.
3.
Sorry.
With the 3, you all are going about your day, walking, talking. Is there anything else you like to do or talk about on the road?
I think Ruin is paying more attention to his surroundings than normal after we fell into the shadow realm. Like
Okay.
literally walked into it because we were all kind of having conversation and whatnot and keeping an eye on the professor as we were walking or as we were riding along. So I'm just like constantly like looking for things that seem out of the ordinary for the world that we live in.
Who's leading the charge today? Who's going to be in first? What's the walk-in order?
I can lead.
Okay.
Friedrich's got a bit of a solemn motivation today, so yeah, I'll be out front.
Oh.
Okay. And is there any other conversations? You want to continue your conversation from last night? Is there anything you want to talk about on the way there? Because you have this day and then half of a day tomorrow until you get to where you're supposed to be.
Is there any sign the environment around us is changing? Is it still foresty? Is it?
It's still foresty, but as you continue, roll me a perception check.
This is just a professor since he's the
Since he's
Okay.
in the front.
18.
18. You see this glimmer almost in front of you, but instead of the glimmer, like a bright glimmer, it's gray.
How far away is it?
Y'all are walking into it. It's about 30 feet ahead.
Kind of hold my hand up like this.
I stop.
I think Velpy she's going to walk forward a little bit and notice everyone else has stopped and then stop.
I'm just going to point out. Does everyone see that?
Do
We all
we
see
see
it?
it?
Since he is pointing it out, yes, you would all see it.
I'm gonna get off friend.
I'm gonna cast
Yeah.
Mage Hand and send it into it.
And when you send Mage Hand through, it's almost like you blink and everything shifts.
Not just the hand.
Your hand is still
Wah, wah.
up there, but you notice your hand, like not your actual hand, but your mage hand, almost has something like bubble on it and spew up from the ground, and your mage hand dissipates. As you all start to hear heavy bubbles.
Do we
Yeah.
see?
See
Do we see
anything?
what's making that noise?
When everything changed, the forest that you were walking in turn barren. And there is this very thin walkway between puddles of this very dull green liquid. As it is bubbling up from the surface, giving you that heavy bubble sound. Everything here is rotting. Everything here is gray, as you have a very narrow pathway in front of you.
Does it seem like a similar gray to the previous day's gray?
Very much so.
Oh boy, here we are again.
Keep pushing through.
Yeah. Do we want to get off of the steeds and lead them through? Or do we want...
Might be wise. So if they tip in, we don't tip in. And then she'll start walking, leading friend.
Yeah.
Seems more precise that way.
Right.
I need everybody to give me dexterity saving throws.
Oh.
Oh.
I have something that can help. So,
Oh, good.
but I can only pick one person.
11.
I'm going to. Has anyone not very dexterous? Like, has not Delphin, Dahlia seen anybody like not be good at dex?
I mean,
No. Okay.
You heard
will
Velfie
choose-
fell
No.
off of a table.
I will.
Yeah.
You've heard
I
about me
will
running up
cast-
trees.
Cat's Grace. This is enhance ability on Velfie. You have advantage on dex checks and saves, and you also don't take damage from falling 20 feet or less.
Sick. So I get to roll
So-
again.
Yes.
So we have a 2.
well, it's a 4 total.
We have a
It
4.
was a natural 2.
Okay.
14.
14.
Oh wait. 16. Sorry,
16.
forgot to
Okay.
add
That
time on the
actually made a difference.
Okay.
Mine's
Velfie.
still 11 because I rolled in that one.
Okay.
Oh no. Okay. That wasn't
You
with
still
the
won't
dice
take damage if
I sent you, was it? Please tell me.
No,
it
this is
wasn't.
a different
Okay.
one. That's a different
Yes,
one.
it was.
It's just tonight, I guess.
So
Yeah,
that
it's
one's
just a
going right
night
now.
of bad rolls.
And Friedrich.
Pass. No, I got a 12.
I got a 12. All right. So Dahlia is the only one that passed this.
Yay.
As you all are walking, Dahlia is in the front leading friend. The three of you are following behind with your mounts. Ruin steps on the edge of this little pathway and his foot falls and into this green bubbly pit. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh boy! I do like me some con saves. 14.
14.
Yeah.
You are going to take 6 poison damage,
Ow.
and your shoe and the pant leg that went into it is now frayed and tattered, as you are going to need to
Ooh.
start looking for new shoes, as your feet are now exposed, and the feet that, like the bit of the foot that is exposed, has that poison damage, almost like it's starting to blister a bit.
Ew.
Velfie,
Well, that's uncomfortable.
as Velfie's going with that 11, she trips just slightly, and there's a big bubble that bursts right next to Velfie, and it's going to hit the side of her arm. I need you to roll me a Constitution saving throw.
14.
14. You take 4 points of poison damage as this green, like dull green, like there's almost no color there, tears holes in the side of your shirt. And
Not my favorite shirt.
you have slight blistering underneath. And Friedrich, as you are walking with Beatrice is going to see you fall. And she's going to try to grab the back of your shirt with her teeth and try to yank you back. Give me another dexterity saving throw.
With my stats or Beatrice's stats?
With your stats. See if that little bit pulls you back.
Got a 5.
With that 5, she's managed to hold you, but your face and your chest are right over this pit, and you see it as this liquid gets this big bubble and just splatters all over your chest as it just pops. Give me a Constitution saving throw.
10.
You take 7 points of poisoning damage as the front of your shirt now has splattered holes. Does Friedrich wear a necklace at all?
Oh.
Okay.
Just gonna double check. No.
So Beatrice is like yanking, and you can hear like her struggling to pull you back, and she does manage to pull you back, but not before you take that damage on your chest.
Heartburn.
And Dahlia, with an elf's grace, is maneuvering this tiny little pathway like a cat. Do you all keep going?
I'll stop and make sure everyone's okay. And like,
We see the other side. Like, is there something
Yeah,
we're
like
going
how-
towards?
Yeah.
So besides this new development of pits and like this poison, acid, whatever it is, everything looks the same. Like it looks like the same area y'all were in, the same terrain, besides these acid pits or puddles, whatever they are, poison puddles. You see the trees that were exactly there. It's almost like the landscape hasn't changed except for these new pits. And everything is this gray, muted, cold color.
Are there any stars?
Give me a perception check.
Is there a similarity between the poison pools and the vials that Kirok's body was throwing at us?
Give me a history check.
I got a 24 for stars.
Nat 20 plus 4.
Hey.
With the 24 for stars, you look up at the sky and it's almost just like this blank canvas. This black canvas. You see some fog that's rolling in. Almost like clouds in a way. But you do not see any stars. You do not see any sun source. No moon. You do see like
Celestial
mushrooms
bodies.
glowing every once in a while. And it's like that's where the source of light is coming from. It's very dim.
Okay.
And with that nat 20, This is very similar to what Carrick had on his body. And that was in that pit in his lab. Maybe he collected it.
Okay.
Have no other choice but to keep going, right?
I don't see another way out.
Like, there's not a way around the puddles.
Y'all are almost in the middle. And this road is too thin to turn around.
Right. Okay. So, I mean, that's...
Power through.
Gotta be more careful.
All right. And as you all continue on, I need another dexterity saving throw.
Oh, golly. I'm gonna cast it again. The Cat's Grace.
Okay.
We're gonna do... Oh, wait. I have a cantrip resistance. It says I need a miniature cloak.
With a cantrip and a miniature cloak, that doesn't have a gold value, does it?
No.
No, we're just going to say you can cast that.
Okay. Is there enough space where, like, I can get them to pass me as I... Because I can only do this one at a time. Can they pass me as I give them this little bump? And
They
then send them...
can try, but that DC is going to be really hard to pass by and not fall in. The DC will be 20.
Jeez.
The DC not to slip and fall is 15.
Okay.
So, I want to have a thing ready. Just like I want to ready an action that if
Okay.
I feel like I'm going to fall, I'm gonna cast Misty Step and put my but then I'll leave my horse. Motherfucker. I could cast Thunder Step, but that's gonna do damage to people, and I don't want to do damage to people. I guess I'm just gonna I'm gonna just make the or attempt to make the save. I guess.
I'll just turn around and I'm going to boop Professor. And you have resistance.
Push me in.
No. You can add a D4 to any of your saving throws of choice. So you got a D4.
Invigorated.
I'm gonna pull out that vial or the water because it gives bless.
I'm also gonna cast. Wait, my cantrip might be concentration. It is. I cannot. Never mind.
And I'm going to hand it to Velfie.
Thanks.
I'm not going to say it like I'm just, you know what it is because it's that same water that we...
She's going to take it. So what does that do again?
I think it gives you bless for... I don't know if it's a certain amount of time or if we had established it was a day or...
Let's see. You get 10 temporary HP.
Oh.
And you get bless for a minute.
Bless for a minute. And what does bless do?
You get to add 1d4.
D4
Get to add 1d4.
Pretty much like guidance, but like.
But longer,
you
yeah.
can cast it longer.
Or not longer, but
Cool.
Well,
Dex
I
save?
guess I'm just...
dex save.
Tally ho.
Tally ho.
Yeah. No. I mean,
Seven.
Add a
17.
D4. Add a D4.
Okay, so I got a nat 1 plus 4 plus plus 5.
Ooh.
That still would not, even with a nat 1. Plus 4, plus 5, that would be 10.
10.
Yep. You do have inspiration.
If we use a point of inspiration, do we re-roll the d4?
Sure.
I will use a point of inspiration. I think I have 2. I had one when we started, and then I got the. Did I get one for the recap? Or
You
was
did.
It not? Okay, cool.
I took a gamble and it paid off.
Yay!
Because well, I think it paid off. It's a 17, or I got a 17.
17, yeah, that pays off.
Okay. So if I do use inspiration, can I re-roll my d20, or is it just the?
You can roll your re-roll the whole thing with inspiration.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mine was
Don't
lower,
be an out
so I got a
one.
10
Ooh,
on the original. 7
19.
And what about Dahlia?
15.
15. Okay, meets it, beats it. So everybody but Friedrich feels like they have a little bit of a handling on navigating this thing. As the DC was 15, you're able to very slowly, very carefully walk where you need to. And with Friedrich, as you are walking, your mind has just been somewhere else today. And the left side slips, like your foot just rolls and slips just a little bit, as your foot begins to go into this pool, and Beatrice is trying to yank you back out as much as she can, but for an old goat, she can't do a whole lot. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Now I'm throwing it out there. Could I have, like, if I saw the professor falling or looking like he was going, could I like try to take him out of it? Like not pull him out of it, but I've got like thunder step. I can like grab him and.
With Thunderstep, you would be leaving the animals to take that damage with Thunderstep.
Oh, then I'm not going to do it. I can't.
And what did Friedrich
there-
get?
Friedrich got an 11.
You take 2 points of poison damage, and the bottom of your shoe dissolves as you just touch this pool before Beatrice is able to kind of pull you out. But the bottom of your shoe no longer has a sole.
S-O-U-L? No, S-O-L-E.
And what was your question, Velfie?
Is there like a clear, like, can we see there's a clear path that doesn't have the acid pools?
Where you all are currently at right now, you're kind of stuck in the middle of these acid pools. So
Okay.
it's almost like there's no valid path for you and the horses to go down with all of these little pools intermingled along this road.
So there's no like end point to where the pools stop
Not
that we can
you
see.
can see.
Okay.
But are you all continuing?
Are there
There's-
any overhang trees above?
There are, but the trees look like they're rotting, and you're like they could be stable. But these trees have no leaves, and you get the sense they're rotting very similarly to how the tree that fell on you yesterday was.
Can we see the other side of it though? Like, is there an area in our vision where it's no longer such a narrow path?
As far as you can see, no.
have to continue on, right? Come this far. Can't turn around.
But as you all debate, it's almost like there's a flash and everything goes back to normal.
Are those who got hurt still hurt?
They are still hurt.
Oh, okay.
This is my least favorite part of this forsaken chunk of land we find ourselves on.
Say it louder for the people in the back.
I hate this place.
Okay. I'm going to pull out my blanket and start like ripping it so Ruin and Professor can wrap their feet up if they want to. And also I'm going to heal Professor.
Yeah, I was gonna say get the professor. I'll be fine.
Thank you for your care. It's been a rough day.
It's my job, that's why I'm here. All right, 6 back to you.
So, like,
Thank
the boot is like destroyed, or is it damaged?
Your boot is damaged. Professor Friedrich has no bottom to the bottom of his shoe.
Or had on, like,
So
old
I could
man
still
penny
like,
loafers.
could I see if I could like repair it enough to make it?
Make a survival check. Or if anybody has the cantrip mending.
I just
Yeah,
have
that's
stuff that deals.
That's a 17.
With a 17, you managed to fix it up the best you can. It's
Yeah,
doable.
I mean it's not. Yeah.
It's not going to cause you any like debuffs or anything.
I'm not gonna be like walking around with one foot that could like that I could step on a D10 with or
Not
something.
your shoe, no.
I just the irony of the fact that I stepped on a D10 and now my boot's messed up.
Yeah, you were
Although-
able to fix up your boot.
Okay.
I'll help Professor wrap his whatever's left of his foot or his shoe. Sorry, your foot's fine.
Whatever's left of his- oh, God.
Whatever's left of your foot. Your foot's gone.
Long
We-
John Silver.
Yeah.
So roll me survival. Friedrich, if you're helping, are you helping?
I'm just sitting there going, my fucking
Okay,
foot.
well, I got a natural 19 plus 6.
No.
So.
I would help as much as I
Ayo.
could. Yeah.
Do you want to
No.
roll with advantage to see if you get the natural 20?
Okay. Nope, I do not.
Okay, with that natural 19, you are able to fix up Professor Friedrich's shoe well enough to where he can walk without like having anything harmful stick into his foot. Now, if it does rain, it's not going to do a very good job. But for everything else, it seems to be holding up pretty well.
Cool. All right.
I
Does that feel
appreciate
okay?
it.
Yeah.
It feels about as good as my shoe did. So yeah, it's good.
Just try to rig you up something if I think of something.
And with that, you all are able to continue your day's journey. Is there anything you would like to do, as you have now seen this weird realm twice?
Mm-hmm. Talia will stay in the back, just kind of like making sure everyone's okay.
I would just be hyper aware of whatever little glimmer I saw that
Yeah.
caused it.
Every glimmer that I see
Yeah.
now is like,
Every little like sunbeam off of whatever. It's just head turning immediately.
I think Velfie, having been through it twice now, she wants to pull out that book again and see if she can get any more information about the Shadow Realm.
Okay, roll a investigation check.
Okie dokie. 21.
With a 21, you get more information talking about how the Shadow Realm is connected to an abyss. and you get information on all kinds of monstrosities that survive in this darkness, and how it seems like they always want to find a way out, find a way to the light. And how, with a 21, some places there is theories and hypotheses that whole civilizations can get pulled in.
All right. Well, so I think Velfie will kind of pull up. I guess our Ruin and Friedrich kind of next to each other a little bit.
I'd probably still be out front. So I don't know.
Well, I say Dahlia said she was in the back, right? So we're
Mhm.
kind of
Yeah.
in between.
So we're all somewhat
True.
together.
Okay. So I guess I'll kind of. Have we mounted?
Yeah. I don't know. Have we?
Up to
I
y'all.
think we like continued on our way.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dahlia.
That's what I was
Dahlia
envisioning.
We
led.
got back on our way. Yeah,
Okay.
probably.
So I think she's gonna kind of motion or say, "Hey, Ruin, Professor. I was just reading up in the book, given that now we've seen it twice. Apparently, entire civilizations can be pulled into the Shadow Realm.
mean, going by what we've seen now twice, it kind of doesn't surprise me that much that could be a possibility. The fact that you can just kind of walk into it, I don't know if this was normal at one point.
But it sounds like, and this is the scarier part, it sounds like they were pulled in and they never escaped. I mean, we've been able to get out. I
Right.
don't know if it was by our doing, it just sort of happened, but what if you can't get out?
I can only imagine what would happen if you were like permanently stuck in a place like that.
And is it random? Are we just having a bad luck string? Or is
Yes,
something
yeah,
more
yeah.
happening? Luck is such an unscientific thing, but I do have my own belief in it.
Yeah, I don't know. But now I'm kind of worried for Sidonia a little bit.
If it's happening here, it
Worried.
could be happening back there.
I'm worried for the people in the walls. I'm not worried for the city itself.
Well, yes.
If that makes any sort of sense.
No, yeah.
Right. I have an idea. If we find another glimmer, tear, whatever it may be. So before, when we were able to move with the crystals sort of established, I wonder if that has any deterring effect on
the
being pulled into the realm.
I
Sidonia
mean-
has a similar field around it. Maybe other civilizations didn't. Maybe it has an effect. This is all complete conjecture. I have nothing to base this on, but
I mean, we have a place that we have to get to, so we don't have a choice of going. I don't feel like we have a choice of going around these
Yeah, I was about to ask if maybe we should just
tears, like,
sidestep them.
does it, when we saw this last one that we went into, like, does it feel like there's like a way around it, or does it just or is that not a?
From y'all's experience so far, when you see those tears or those
You're
like,
going in.
shifts, it's almost like everywhere around it changes, because you saw that shift when you found the tree trunk.
So it's almost like there's little like pockets of whatever
You almost
that we're
get
kind of walking into.
you almost get the sense it's phasing.
Okay.
Why are they appearing seemingly directly in our path?
It's like either it's something's trying to stop us, or
It feels that way, but then when I say it out loud, it sounds preposterous. Like
I also
hmm.
wonder if we're the only people out here experiencing this. If it's happening throughout the land, or just somehow just around us.
We did hear that there were fewer and fewer teams returning from their missions, didn't we?
And you have also heard that things are getting a lot worse recently. And you, at one point, realized that the weather is getting colder, more so than other years.
Maybe
also-
they're getting pulled into these realms.
yeah, I mean that's, and maybe they're not getting lucky, as it were, and being able to like get back out.
Yeah.
I don't.
And what are we even doing to get back out? Is it anything we're doing? I don't know if I would call what we just did successfully navigating the scenario as I look down at my foot.
I mean, we survived.
It is a form of success
The
in itself.
the other way that it could go is that we don't, and so sometimes you got to take the wins where you can get them, Professor.
It's a fair point. Living to see the next sunrise is starting to feel like maybe the only win around here. Or is it a
like
win?
The weird the weird feeling that I keep getting with all of this is that like it's coming on, the more that we fall into these things, the more that feeling that you get that like the only safe place is Sydonea. It'd be really easy to make somebody think that the only safe place was the city if you had some sort of way to.
So you're suggesting these tears are being summoned?
Might not. I mean, it might be a completely a coincidence, or it could be a way to make sure that trouble doesn't come back to trouble doesn't come back to the city.
Like it's intentional.
Like
it's targeted. Like it's.
I could be just talking
weaponized?
like a crazy person, but
After the past 48 hours, nothing feels too crazy.
Professor talked to a book.
Yep.
I
We've
get yelled at by a book. Wasn't even a pleasant
and now you're
conversation.
getting a silent treatment by a book, which is
It's true.
arguably weirder.
bitter book?
I don't know.
I am very
None of it.
bitter.
Look back over my shoulder. I'm assuming. Well, yeah, I guess I'm on Beatrice right now. So just gonna look back at the saddlebag. Don't really acknowledge it beyond that, though.
And with that, you do notice that the sun is starting to go down as you all have traveled a long time today with some very weird occurrences. What would you like to do?
Find a place to lick our wounds, both literally and metaphorically. I'm not licking my foot.
Stay up all night and never sleep again. Someone can do that, maybe.
All right, roll me a perception check.
Everybody?
Or excuse me, not perception check, survival.
Group survival
Everyone?
with one person.
Yeah, if you all are looking for a place to stay tonight.
That's a
Ooh.
natural 20, a 24.
I see nothing. I got a 2 + 1.
18.
3 + 2, 5.
With that natural 20, you find another perfect little spot in the alcove of the forest. It's starting to get denser around this area and starting to have a few hills, as you were able to find a little alcove and almost like a valley with pretty trees and everything that looks like it would be a really nice place to spend the night.
Nice, Rowan.
Oh, let's get our crystals set up and do this whole thing all over again.
Sounds good.
F thine.
And you all are able
Fine.
to get this set up, no problem. Is there anything you'd like to do before you go to sleep?
I had a thought. If that thing happens again, what if we just park ourselves, not move? See what happens.
Wait it out.
Maybe.
I mean,
it's nothing we're doing
yeah,
that's
we-
fixing it
yeah, because we're just moving and
and making
things are
things worse.
happening.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes as much sense as anything else that we've done. So
Even put the crystals out, start a campfire if it takes
yeah,
really
and just sit
longer.
in it, just sit and
win through stubbornness.
I like that approach.
yeah, makes sense to me.
Let's. I mean, we should always test a hypothesis.
I like
Very
that
astute.
word, hypothesis.
The long ass word.
I like words.
It's a good word. It is. It's fun to say.
Hypothesis.
Is everyone
Um,
doing okay? Like, health-wise?
Health wise, yeah, I'm
Health,
good. Yeah,
like
Yeah.
physical health wise, yeah. Mental health wise,
Mental
Well,
health
we could go down that path. I'm not very good at fixing problems, but I can listen if you.
I just need to think through mine. If there's no problem the mind can't solve in time. That's what I keep telling myself.
Is it working?
I'll get back to you on that.
Has that been your saying
that's
all your wizened years?
that's
you
been
should
his
find it.
that's been his go-to since I've
Maybe you
met
should
since
find
we've
another one.
Sometimes it works, and sometimes I just feel like it needs more time. I don't know. It's something to hang on to.
Okay. Poor professor.
just living that existential crisis life.
Comes with the territory. Just
Yeah,
can't let
it's
your
all-
crisis eat
feel-
you.
It's
I
all
feel like
peachy.
I feel like life in Sydonea is just one giant existential crisis.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, pretty accurate. There's only one bar, two,
So
if you want to go into the underground.
there's only
Everybody's
there's
greasy.
only one
apparently.
place. There's only one place that has felt genuinely good.
We
That's
haven't been to
Druid
Pleasures
Grove.
yet. Oh, the Druid. Sorry. Yeah, Druid Grove was good. I'll
That's
be
really
thinking
good.
about the Druid Grove around the campfire tonight. And that big meal.
Oh my god, those pancakes.
Those pancakes.
Sunflower seeds.
Sunflower. Oh, which
Oh
I
yeah,
think
we
I
still have a whole bunch of those. What did those do again?
They give you a D4 that you can use on any roll for the day.
And that's just like a one-time thing, or is it if you eat it, you okay? Well,
And ruin it. About this time, you feel your sending stone buzz.
oh, shit! I forgot I had I'm gonna be like, oh, I forgot I had this thing.
Hello. Just wanted to check in. Don't normally do this very often, but hi, did this work? I think it worked.
Ruin's gonna take a minute and think of how he's going to answer. So if anybody else is doing anything, you can check with them, and I'll get back on trying to formulate how I'm going to.
Sendings are hard.
All right. Well, while
But-
you were formulating that, is anybody else doing anything?
I think Velfie will take a break from the Shadow Realm and open up Soulful Revere
Okay.
and see what she gleans from that information.
Give me an investigation check.
Okie dokie. Investigation. Ooh, I'm going to use inspiration on that.
Okay.
So I have no more inspiration. I went through all of it.
Oh
It's been a
my.
tough night.
Oh, that's much better. Okay, so that's a 10.
Okay, with a 10, you get a lot of the same information you got last time. But with your newfound information about the realms, celestial particles probably come from the celestial realm.
Okay.
You also get the information about whoever creates the soul needs to be of good intentions. Otherwise, the soul is corrupted. And a corrupt soul is a monstrosity. But with a 10, that's all you get.
Okay.
What is Friedrich doing?
I want to talk to the book, but we're in a small, confined area. So I'm going to save it till the morning or the first half of our day tomorrow. So Friedrich will just be... I don't want to bother Axe. Just be like, hey, how's it going?
Saw, dude.
Reading good books lately? Nah, I'm not going to do anything with what I have. I'm just going to try to relax a little bit, come down a bit from the day.
So just to double check, you didn't want to read either of the other 2 books you brought with you?
Those seem innocent enough. that I wouldn't be able to. I don't want to read Lies and Fire because I thought
Are you sure?
Did I give that to
Might feel-
Velpy? I feel like
Yeah,
I
I
gave it.
think
Like she's
I
on
thought I
her-
had it.
Yeah, you gave that
Yeah.
to Velpy.
I brought it
You know
with
what?
me. Don't worry if you want to share.
I will put a pin in that, and I will. I'm gonna elect for Shadowfin's virus instead, and then and I
Don't put a pin in a book. What's wrong with you, Professor?
put a bookmark in it.
Dog ear it.
No, well, I don't know. What's the condition of that Lies and Fire copy?
It is a very well-read book, very loved book. No, don't.
No sticking
No
pages.
sticking pages.
I didn't say it, but I was thinking it.
No sticky pages. But it is.
I'll say it for you for this time.
It is a very well-read, very well-loved book.
Now that I think about it, so the lead room, I don't want to have the conversation because I can't control the audience. Shadowfin's virus I will read to myself.
Okay. So the same book you were reading earlier yesterday morning?
No, yeah. I don't know. Do I feel like I got most that I could out of it?
You got a decent portion of it.
I'm gonna go. Is there a potential to get more? I might as well try. Let me just try. I want to stay on the topic because it's really interesting to me. I know I have the other book, The Eternal Echoes, but
You also have the one that Serafina gave you.
I'm hyper fixating on this Shadowfin virus thing
Okay.
because everything seems to be sort of moving around that. So, okay, come on. Really thorough. What's the skill check?
Investigation.
No, 5.
You don't get too much more than what you've already gotten with that. It seems to be man-made, may not be a virus at all, but something used to make us stronger. Originated at Aurora Research Base.
Is there an author on this book?
It's smudged.
Okay. That's just where Friedrich's mind is hyper fixated. Because everything seems to be sort of revolving around the revelations they've had in the past 48 hours or so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, with that 5, that's all you can get. Dahlia, what are you doing tonight?
I wasn't thinking of what I was going to be doing. She'll go over to Professor and just kind of sit down. Just, what you reading?
Light bedtime reading about the virus that we find ourselves racked by.
Oh, is that your typical reading?
I won't say the subject is my typical reading, but from an academic standpoint, yeah, nonfiction, something I could learn from like that. Never been much of one for stories, fables, so to speak.
Fables start from somewhere.
That is true. That is true.
We're kind of a fable right now.
I suppose so. I mean,
200 years ago, this would have been a fable.
I had not thought about it like that. And I suppose that 200 years ago now is a fable to us.
Mm.
Seems like a different world entirely. Do you read much?
No, not at all.
There's a lot to be found in pages. Not all pages are created equal, but I can make some recommendations if you have any interest.
I don't know how to read. I'm not allowed to. Knowledge is power.
Now, player question. Remind me again how much we know about Dahlia's scenario. She's been pretty tight-lipped with it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Knowledge is power. And saying you're not allowed to, it sounds like someone's trying to control how much power you have access to. Is that pretty accurate? Yeah.
Accurate.
Yeah. And you mentioned about not wanting to hear certain things, like you couldn't trust your own knowledge.
He's very powerful.
Hmm.
And
Do they have a
greasy.
way? Grease. With more knowledge comes more grease.
Hmm.
Sometimes.
Mm.
Sometimes.
Mm.
Ew.
I don't like that.
Ew. I don't like that.
I mean, there's been times I've gotten lost in the pages of a book and neglected basic hygiene for a while, but you come around.
It just comes naturally.
With, I hope I don't put you at risk by asking this question.
I mean, he could have killed me years ago. Yeah,
Could you learn to read in secret?
She'll pull out the little picture book she has. It's like, Ryan.
Wait, I'm sorry, I didn't catch the last.
She said she's trying.
Okay. Can I look at the picture book?
She'll hand it over.
What kind of pictures are in it?
There are pictures such as the first page is of a barbarian person that is drawn, and like there's a little text, not a text bubble, but like a speech bubble drawn from it with the letters A-H. And it looks like he's screaming, ah.
Okay. Does this look like I'm assuming all art in this world is hand drawn, but does it look like it's like professional art? Does it look like maybe it's someone's sketchbook?
This does look like an actual book. So the pictures are very colorful, very like cartoony drawn, but it is a book to help teach someone to read through pictures.
I'm gonna turn it around and point to the barbarian and say, what would you call this character?
Barbarian?
I'm gonna hold my finger out with the quill on it and ask, may I?
Yeah.
Let me check something real quick. Let's see if I can do this. Because I have an idea. Where's it at? Here we go. Sorry, I won't use this special part of it, but I'm going to write with my finger, smallly in the book, the word barbarian on that page. Like, and that's how you would write barbarian. I don't mean to deface your book.
No,
but maybe
no.
this would.
I mean, it's from
would
the
help in a
underground.
certain way.
It's already. I don't know if this is considered an illegal book if it's in the underground, but
Seems innocent enough.
yeah.
But I don't know.
Maybe this has secret meanings like all of your big books you have. This is the key to everything.
I've only read the first page, so I won't judge it yet. But it may. It may. It's interesting, though. You know, books are not on their face true. Anyone can write a book for the most part. And some are filled with complete fabrications that are presented as truths. Some are filled with complete stories and fables that you can learn real things from. So there's a lot out there.
Yeah.
But barbarian is a good word to start with.
Barbarian. She'll take it back. She'll pull out, she's got like a little piece of charcoal. She'll cast something, and then she's going to copy your words, but nothing appears on the page. As she uses illusory script. Oh, that's hard to say. Illusory script.
Very cool.
Illusory script. And she'll just keep like just writing it over and over and over. She's lost all focus of you.
I'm gonna leave her to her studies.
And with that, Ruin.
I will pick up the sending stone, and I will say everything, because the message said, I don't know if this is working, or I don't know if this thing works, or something that. So I'll say everything is working. Still trying to find Vana. How is the grove? Anything out of the ordinary? And that's all I'm going to. Because I don't want to make a promise that we're going to bring her home.
All right. And you get the feeling that she did get that message. And with that, everybody can start getting ready for bed. Who wants to do watches tonight?
Talia
I'm
could take the
fine.
first. Oh, you want to do the first?
No, if you,
No, it's
it's up to
she
you.
just wants
Do
to
you
keep.
wanna-
She wants to just keep writing.
If she wants to write, I'll take second watch.
Okay. Yeah, she'll take the first.
All righty. Give me a perception check.
Oh boy. 11.
11. You are very focused on writing barbarian, and you're getting really good at it. But you don't sense anything out of the ordinary. Nothing seems to be off. There's a full moon out tonight. Very pretty. Gives you enough light in order to write, even though you don't need too much. And everything seems good. And with that, your watch comes to a close.
I am assuming Professor's next, so I just kind of go and just like poke his shoulder gently.
Oh,
Oh,
sorry. He always wakes up with a start.
I thought it was like the Boulder's Gate sigh as you wake up.
Oh,
Ah.
the long rest.
The long rest sigh.
Ah. The one that you love so much.
Yeah, they're sleeping with his fingers like that. They do. How did it go? How was the first 4 hours?
Good. Yeah, nothing happened. We're still alive, so. And no
That's
creepy
good.
place.
That's also good. Okay,
right.
let me add it.
Wake me up if you need anything.
Absolutely.
And she's out.
Alrighty, and with that, Friedrich, will you roll me a perception check?
Yeah, sure, why not? 21.
21. With a 21, you can hear the sounds of your party sleeping. Sounds like everybody's sleeping pretty well. You can hear the breeze going through the trees. Everything seems quiet. But in the very far distance, you hear this screech. Doesn't sound too close, but you are definitely heading in the right direction. As your shift comes to a close, and both Dahlia and Ruin have a stone that's vibrating. For Dahlia, you are very observant. Mom must really like you. She doesn't speak to many.
She'll not really know what to say. She might save it. Yeah. Not necessarily for an emergency, but just save it.
And for Ruin, Grove is well. Hopefully Fauna shows up. I always fear for the worst. Something strange happened today. Everything was extremely colorful and bright, sweet smelling. And that is where we're going to end today's episode.
I knew you were going to do that.
Oh.
Man.
That was another lovely fun-filled.
Oh, Professor.
Wes,
Fun-filled. Yeah.
Everyone
This was
had-
apparently 2 sessions in a row. The professor is just getting stabbed in the heart.
Is everybody
Talia?
okay? Y'all seem so sad today. Did y'all have fun?
Yes.
Oh yeah,
yes.
no, it was a ton of fun.
Yes.
I just you digging the knife into base.
It's stakes.
It's just- it's
stakes
like
are rising.
heavy,
Stakes
you know?
stakes are rising.
Yeah.
Like everything
Yeah.
is so heavy now. It's no longer like, oh, we're going on a mission and fun. It's
Yeah,
like,
we're going on a mission. Oh, cool. We're gonna
mean,
go
it's
beat
still
this thing, and then
fun.
it's like,
We're still
Yeah.
having fun.
that's what I used the wrong word there. I mean, like, it's not
But
as
it's-
lighthearted, and there's more at stake now. Like,
yeah,
Yes.
learning more.
There's so
people
many
have
things
built
going on.
relationships that everything is sort of like, now you got people back home who are looking forward to seeing you again, and yeah.
and you've got a party member that has basically said they can't be trusted.
Yeah.
Oh, that broke my heart.
Stakes are much higher now.
Thank you so much for watching Session 15 of the Order of Narvosc. Session 16 will release on March 27th. If you have not checked out our wonderful player social media accounts, please check the description below to find where you can find their content. They are absolutely wonderful and they deserve your support. If you are interested in Narvosc merch, check the description below to find that shop link. And if this is the kind of content you enjoy, please press that like button, subscribe, and ring that bell. That way you get notified when Session 16 comes out. And as always, be the light that drives out the shadows, adventurer. I'll see you soon.